Oh my gosh, I love this song.
I swear, I had myself off of mute for just a second. No, I totally boomered it. Um, guys, you're all breathtaking. You're all awesome. I just, I cannot thank you enough for hanging through all of the insanity and the boomering and just all of the support, really. You guys are all amazing. I love you all so much. And as you know, normally I hit the Streamlabs first thing. And I'm not going to break with tradition because I got a couple of donations when all the insanity was going down with Ukraine. So Cybot, who is like 6 hours ahead of me, but hopefully we'll see this, is sent some stuff in. And guys, honest to goodness, you're all just so freaking breathtaking. I love every single one of you. None of this, I completely realize and am humbled and grateful that none of this would be possible without all of you. I have no idea why you think I am worthy of your time and for some of you, your money, but I am eternally grateful beyond words. Truly just humbled and thankful for every single one of you. And I want to do a couple of shout outs. So Project Storytime, I see you in the chat. You co-hosted Nostalgic Nirvana with me when we were talking Mythica, and I had a blast. Thank you so much. Those are still some of my most viewed streams. Lethal Lightning, who is in a completely different time zone, and I'm not even sure is currently conscious at the moment, but we'll see. And if he shows up later, I'll shout him out then too. But he's been unbelievably supportive beyond words. Krish Persia, there you are. I knew I saw you. My dude, my wrench, my inner monologue. I definitely without you, I would be like a lost little puppy flailing in the wind. It just would not. It would not be good. I cannot put into words how just incredible you are. Bird of Prey 5, I am so happy you are here. How are you doing? So much love and support to you, and I know you've given so much love and support to me, and you are like a cornerstone of what fandoms should be. So much love and respect, my man. Father Christopher Miller, thank you for all of your guidance and prayers. Lord knows that I am going to need them continuing on. But also that they definitely helped get me here. And happy Lent. I didn't eat any meat yesterday, and I went to Ash Wednesday Mass, and I went to confession, and I'm going to do Stations of the Cross tomorrow. So, yay. If there was a Catholic checkbox thing to hit, I think I'm doing okay, even though that doesn't get you into heaven. But still, it's good stuff. Project Story, you just got an ad? Oh my. So I'm so sorry that you got an ad. I'm not sure. Legioness, my herald, you really want that duet. I will tell you what, Legioness, I've got a little surprise. I have a small announcement later, but I'm trying to see if Lethal is conscious and can get here. Because I want to say something, and then we will see if I can make that happen for you. Okay, but you're just gonna have to hang tight and wait and see what I'm talking about. Kinnell's missing Y chromosome. I will not tell Ryan that you're here, even though he is getting death threats, and he could probably use you, honestly, if we're being honest. Miss Martin, oh, hello, the lovely Miss Martin Muses. You are just a treasure, and I am so grateful, thankful, and just humbled and blessed that you are here and that you're in my life, and you are just an inspiring woman. It's freaking amazing. So much love. Lord Thoth, another I see the wrenches in strength tonight. Lord Thoth, I gotta say, you make just about every single stream that much more fun, and I love and appreciate it. Thank you so much. Corey Cochran, thank you so much. That means a lot. Now, this next one, Raj Williams. Honest to God, you were one of my very first viewers. You were one of the very first people to send me a donation. I cannot thank you enough for all of the support that you have consistently shown. The fact that I know that you're going to be there is just mind-blowing for me, and I absolutely 1,000,000,000% appreciate and just adore you. Thank you so much, and you always add so much to the chat. Subhuman 84, oh my god, hello, and thank you so much. It's kind of mind-blowing, actually. I promise I'll tell you guys the story, because I wasn't even expecting to do like a monetized celebration stream today, but I'll get into that in a second. I promise. Nerdscape, oh my gosh, what's going on? Cal G, oh, hello. I am Shane Nolan, I'm so happy to see you. You got an ad too? Oh my. So wait, is this stream monetized? That's fantastic. The monetized stream is monetized. Yay, victory. Jennifer Cisco, hello, darling. Stig Kenobi, you have a soda? A Coke Zero? Pepsi's better. I'm just gonna say it. Just gonna say it. But speaking of Stig Kenobi, hello there, sir. I caught him off track. I got him off guard this time.
Hi. Sorry.
I caught him.
My browser was freezing up a bit.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not good.
No.
But hello. And Stig, I am so happy that you were able to make it. And I just wanted to tell you how appreciative I am of every single thing you do. The good, the bad, and the very critical.
Wait, I do bad? Really?
I mean, nobody's perfect. It's in there somewhere. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head. That's all.
Well, that's good.
But honest to goodness, you're one of the most genuine people. Even like a lot of people have said that they think that you're like too harsh or too brash, or you can come off mean. And I'm like, nah, you just need to know how to talk to him and understand that he's coming from literally an honest viewpoint. He doesn't have a hidden agenda. There's no snake in the grass with you. And that is a rare thing these days. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate my bluntness. That's good to hear.
Well, yeah.
Actually, you know what though? It is quite often I've noticed it has a little bit to do with how Norwegians talk, how we communicate. So the whole thing comes off as cold and blunt compared to how you people talk.
How you people see stuff like that. Yeah, you people talk.
Yeah, but it's we have a different language and all, but we also speak differently and communicate differently. So I tend to, especially when I type, I come off as way more blunt than I actually am.
Well,
except when I say dumbass, then I actually mean it.
There's worse things in this world than not, than coming off blunt in type form. But so yeah, you are just one of the most honest. No, but speaking of honest and genuine and just like awesome people, I have somebody else here. And it is none other than a troubled green. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Hi. I want to know what I did to earn this honor. I was like, oh my gosh, Lady Gravemaster's inviting me.
Oh my God. I'm glad you think it's an honor, because I absolutely adore you. And just like, you always, girl, so for anybody that doesn't know, over on Instagram, she does the cutest freaking book posts you've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
She can knit like it's nobody's business. And she is the way that we got introduced, I guess would be like, I don't even know how, like the way we found each other, I guess the way that we could put that is because Gina Carano, actually. Like, this is how we found each other. And I was just like, man, this girl seems like she's got her head on straight and isn't cuckoo crazy pants. And she can do all this cool stuff that I used to be able to do, but haven't done in a very long time. And if I tried to knit something right now, I'd be lucky if I could come off with a booty.
Well, thank you so much. I still remember the pep talk you gave me, like, I don't know, it was back in December, I think, about just like standing in your feminine power. So like, I still thank you. I still think about that pep talk you gave me, and yes, your girl's gonna learn how to handle her sidearm one of these days.
Well, hey, I am glad to hear it. And quite frankly, and I'm sure Stig can chime in on this. We know he'll be bluntly honest about it. There's very few things sexier than a girl who knows how to handle her sidearm.
Well, no, not really. Except if it's a big sword or an axe.
Fair.
The main arm, you know. Not
yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd chop off my foot if I held a sword or an axe. I am a little clumsy.
It would make for amazing entertainment, though.
It would.
I've already done that. I only have one arm left.
I doubt that.
Yeah, just
you're
legs
not Anakin.
Are gone and...
You're not Anakin.
No, I did it. I've done that myself. I was practicing with nunchucks and whacked my legs off.
Some powerful nunchucks. Good lord.
Yeah.
That was quite a swing.
Right? Absolutely. So I think that, I don't know if you guys ever catch anything, or, I know Stig's seen the stream a few times, but I don't expect anybody to like always catch everything. But I do my nostalgic Nirvanas on Thursdays usually. And so this week's topic was supposed to be something that Stig is probably, I don't know if Stig's going to care or not, because I was actually thought that this was rather serendipitous, because I was actually going to talk about the animated film Anastasia.
Oh, nice.
And it's, the Romanovs and the Russians, and that's sort of a hot topic right now. Very hot button issue. But can I just say that I saw him pop in the chat? It was Ryan. Did you guys see the Bounding article or any of Ryan's tweets about what is going on, or his video that about what is happening with his Batman review?
You know what? I watched his review this morning, and the stuff they clipped. It's so out of context. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Because he literally said he gave the movie an 8 out of 10.
Yes.
And told people to go watch it.
Yep. And the way that he really phrased it, like, you have to truly like hate someone to purposefully misconstrue their words the way that these people are doing, because the way that he said it was more like there were no bad. I think the way he phrased it, because I've not seen the movie and I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so because as many people know, I do not have a lot of faith in this film. But I'm still gonna go see it and try to give it as honest and open of a review as I possibly can, because we all have a bias, like we all do. It's unavoidable. But
I am definitely gonna give Pattinson a chance, because I was one of the people who thought Heath Ledger was gonna suck in The Dark Knight.
Yes.
And I'm gonna learn from my burn.
Yeah.
And,
I want to give it a chance. I more want to see it for Andy Serkis. I just think Andy Serkis is such a good actor. So I want to see it for him, but I definitely want to give Pattinson the benefit of the doubt. But I also Tugs and I have talked about it. We both have our skepticisms about it. So yeah, but I do want to give it a chance.
Yeah. And so like that's really the only thing that you have to try and do is try to be somewhat open-minded. These people are like saying that like Ryan said he hates the black people in it. And that's not what he said. He simply said that there's like, okay, hang on. Let me see where. I know it was in this article, but like, look at all these people. They're like, they're claiming that he should die, that he needs to get his face stomped. All of Geeks and Gamers needs to die. Do you know how much these guys have done for like? I'm not on Geeks and Gamers. I'm not part of like the team or anything, but I am like a member in their chats. I'm a premium subscriber to their website. You guys should definitely go check all that out. Do you know how much these guys, Ryan specifically, do you know how much they have done for charity? Do you know, like,
yeah,
Ryan has deployed for his country. Like, y'all need to calm way down. It's just insane. They are taking a clip completely out of context and trying to say that this is what his whole review is, where he's just bashing black people all the way through.
You know what the sad thing is? Half of the people who are bashing him only saw a headline, and the other half, it doesn't even matter what he said.
Yeah,
that they would go after him no matter what.
But like, yeah, so here it is. I knew it was here somewhere. So like, and they're like, make sure to report his channel. Like they're literally trying to deplatform Ryan because what he said was there's only 2 good white characters, as in like legitimate non-evil characters, Batman and Alfred, and 3 good black characters that are race swapped for Commissioner Gordon, Catwoman, and the Mayor. If Catwoman is good in this film, because Catwoman's not supposed to be good. So that kind of, see, I'm slightly spoiling this for myself, but this stuff really frustrates me because they are like, these are the kind of people, guys, that they don't care what is actually being said. They don't care about facts. They simply care, like, these are the kind of people who, no matter what Ryan had said, if he had said that, Commissioner Gordon, because for anybody that doesn't know the Batman universe, Commissioner Gordon has a daughter who eventually becomes Batgirl, and then after she breaks her back, she becomes Oracle. She's a redhead. She's like a pale redhead.
Oh, we can't have redheads anymore.
I know.
Nope.
So, like, I think Ryan and I are even on a live stream at one point discussing how when you race swap Commissioner Gordon, you basically nix in this. Like, if they were to continue, if this is going to get any more, because I guess a sequel is already rumored to be in the making or whatever, you can't have the real Barbara Gordon because she's like a pale redhead, and so you're like, by swapping Gordon, you're removing Barbara. And then it was talk about how, well, maybe she won't even be like his real daughter, or she'd be a niece, because they were like, well, in Batman Forever she was blonde and it was Alfred's niece, and I was like, that
wasn't a good movie either.
I was like, I don't think you're like, I like that movie for many reasons, because it's campy and hilarious, and quite frankly, I just get a kick out of it.
You know what?
But
though?
I can objectively say that's not a good film.
I have known Ryan since he started the channel. Really, 3 years ago, maybe something like that. And spoken to him in private many times. The guy is not a racist.
No,
he's not. He's brash and blunt like I am.
Yes,
but he's not a racist.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, Stu. That
What?
was very brash and blunt of me. I was like, no, we're done talking to you. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
You're done.
I didn't even notice.
You're done. Oh, see, there you
That
go.
was quick though.
Typical man. Well, it's because I realized I hit the wrong button pretty quick. I was like, oh, that was not the one I meant to hit. But I think, I just really wanted to get my shout outs to Ryan out there because he's an incredibly hard worker. He's a great guy. And, between him and Jay, I have no idea how I'm ever going to even match the philanthropy that those guys have done. It's insane how much they have done for so many people. And I really hate that that people are trying to use out of context clips to get them canceled.
People are attacking Jay now as well?
Yeah. So Jay said something and they were like, you have to be, it's just the same normal NPC stuff of you have to be anti-racist, but they come after him for the Gina stuff all the time.
Yeah, well, now they're currently pissed that he had to correct that the 20K tricked out suite on the Galactic Star Cruiser was misconstrued in the wrong way, and everyone got the information wrong, and now everyone is furious at him, and he's like, take a break.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw you had done a new video and corrected it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they bashed him for that.
People lost
too.
their minds.
Yeah, it's people give some people some grace, y'all, because we all make mistakes.
No kidding.
Yeah, but
at least Drunk 3PO admitted it.
Yeah,
didn't double down. He just said, "I made a mistake."
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it'll blow over because he did that. He's not doubling down. He's not calling people out. He's not being childish about it. He's like, I made a mistake. Here it is. And now I'm just gonna I'm gonna take a breather.
Yeah.
But so I am gonna hit my donations here right at the beginning, like I tried to do, because real fast. So Cybot donated twice for $10 and said, "Hey, Lady G, it seems like Russia issued a threat to Sweden and Finland the other day. Might just be Putin beating his man tits, not at all as impressive as when Tarzan does it, and it might amount to nothing. But if it does, I do intend to volunteer and fight. I have no military background, but I do consider myself a Swedish patriot and a nationalist, and I will do my part to defend a nation I love. Best wishes to you and yours, coolest lady on YouTube."
I threaten Sweden all the time.
Are you the president of Russia?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't think it holds up.
I think Sweden should be happy I'm not.
Well, that's from 6 days ago. So, Cybot, thank you for that. A lot of people talk the talk, but if you're really going to walk the walk, you have my respect, and I completely understand.
Sean Penn ran away. He went down to Ukraine to tell people to stand and fight and all, and he was last seen fleeing on foot towards Poland.
Not surprised.
Yep. So he
guys, war is not pretty. I'll bring up the clip a little bit later, but there's a perfect, if anybody here has ever seen MASH, you know what I'm talking about. And anybody that's never watched MASH, you need to go watch it. It's a fantastic series. It's over the Vietnam War.
Or Korea.
Sorry. Oh my God, Vietnam. That's a different one that I was going to talk about. It's over the Korean War, and it's, I'll bring up that clip, and it sums that up perfectly. And then Cybot for another 10 said, "Just saw the message about you getting monetized. I won't be able to make the stream because of time zones and work, but I wanted to congratulate you for the great job you've done. I look forward to seeing what the future holds. Have a good day." Thank you, Cybot. So much love. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Raj Williams for 10 Canadian said, "Congratulations on getting your channel monetized, Lady G. Onwards and upwards from here." So that's through the donation side. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my very first super chat, and it is $5 Canadian super chat from Chris Persia. Thank you so much, sir. I love it. Thank you for the support. Congratulations on your monetization, Lady G. You deserve this. Woohoo! Champagne. Is that champagne showers? I don't know. I'm not cool and hip. But yes, thank you so much, Chris Persia. You are integral part of what made this possible, and I genuinely do appreciate, like I said at the beginning of the stream, you are just so freaking awesome. You're breathtaking. It's wonderful. And now, because she states facts. Jennifer Cisco for $2 says, "I was your second. Congrats. Much love and respect." Jennifer, much love and respect to you. I love working working the mod in chat with you. You're always on it. You've always got it. I appreciate you to the nth degree. I really, really do. And thank you for the super chat. It means the world. Kindle's missing Y chromosome for $5. Woo, thank you. Man, I'm glad the scientists gave me more control over my finances so I can send this to you, Miss Gravemaster. In the words of Mr. Ripa, be great. That was my best Ripa voice. I'm sorry. Like, he's got a baritone that I don't think I could reach if, like, without some tinkering on my vocal cords, which I'm not going to do. So, yes, I thank you for the encouragement. Kendall is missing Y chromosome. Like I said, you should probably go join Ryan because he needs you more than I do. But I am so happy you're here, and thank you for the love and support. It really does mean the world to me. So thank you so much. My very first super sticker, go to bag.
That's my mom. Just so you know.
Thank you, October Green's mom. You're so cool. And it was a little pair saying you got like great job or something. So for $4.99. Thank you so much. History being made right here, folks, and you're all a part of it, and I appreciate every single one of you for that. I really, truly 1,000 billion% do. And that's a number. I'm sticking to it. Now over here, because Cal G is just such an awesome person, donated $3 and says, "Yo, lady, I'm real happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish, but Streamlabs is still my donation platform of choice for all time, of all time." I'm just joking. Congratulations on getting monetized. It's a great achievement. Godspeed. Let's get it. Oh, Cal G, I totally understand. That's why I left the donation link up, because there are plenty of people who don't want to donate through YouTube, and I respect and appreciate that. And I respect and appreciate you guys. I really, truly do. Andrew Matthews for £10. That's some, as calls it, proper money.
Yeah, it's real money.
To the mother and marine and speaker of truth. Congrats. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Andrew. That means more than you know. Thank you so much. Really, truly. Arcane Stork for $5 says, "Just a little something for you. Good job." Arcane, thank you.
That's one awesome name, though. Arcane
Stork. Yes, that's pretty friggin' fantastic.
That actually gave me a D&D idea.
Ooh, there you go.
Have an Arcane Stork attack Nina and Teresa or whatever.
Well, I'm glad you're not my dungeon master.
I have used the duck bunnies.
Oh.
The infamous duck bunnies from the 80s who were mocked. I've used them, and they almost killed the party.
Oh. I actually would have paid to see that. Now, this man has, coming up here in just a sec, is an incredible worker. He makes fantastic tacos. He supports so many channels in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, around the scenes. He is like the best cheer warrior you will ever meet or know. And that is none other than our very own Mexican Iron Man. And you sent $50, you crazy man. Thank you so much. I am blown away. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the nth degree. Thank you. All of you to the nth degree. Thank you. I actually can't still believe that this is real. But he says, "LG, I'm traveling in the Northeast and not on Midnight Eds tonight. I don't think you know this, but I did know that. So I'm catching live finally. Yes. So you are one of the best people I've met on the net and one of the finest people anywhere. Congratulations. P.S. Hail Steak. Good job from your brother, Mike." Oh my gosh, Mike. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ryan Kinnell, for $20. My God, y'all are crazy. Says, can't make it tonight, but thanks for the support. No, my dude, thank you for your support. Like, you and I both know that you kept me from making me look like an idiot more than once. And I appreciate that more than words can say, because I can't remember the exact quote right now, but I'm pretty sure the way that it goes is like, bones mend faster than wounded pride. Broken bones mend faster than wounded pride. And while I can take a...
I heard that completely wrong.
You... Broken bones mend faster.
No, I thought you said bones men.
Oh.
Oh, well, I
And I
guess
was
we're
like,
going to
what
call it
the
night,
heck?
folks. Yep, bye.
What the heck kind
We're
of
done.
saying is that?
And we're done. No,
And that's it.
but
Sounded like
seriously,
that.
Ryan.
You know, for a second, I thought it was a reference to some makeup sex or something.
Go away, Steve. No.
I'm not even
that's-
kidding.
Oh my God. No. Broken bones mend faster than wounded pride. My God, man. You're always in the gutter. It's just
No,
absurd.
that's what it. I misheard.
Okay.
Then I went into the gutter.
I don't. Then you went into the gutter. Yes. But Ryan, seriously, I don't even think you realize how much you've helped me and how much you've done for me. I am so sorry that you're getting slammed from all sides, because I happen to know that you are a great guy.
See, Andrew Matthews heard the same thing I did.
No, shush, Steve. I will yeet you from the stream again, I swear. I'm just kidding. But really.
I'm a lady, so my mind didn't go to the gutter.
Mine either. Mine either. But Ryan, thank you for the $20. Thank you for just being here for that short amount of time. And I mean, honestly, thanks for just being you, because you are my canary in the coal mine. I know just how far I can go before the crazies come after me. So thank you for being that calibrator for me. It makes my life much easier. I appreciate it. So on the donation side, Philbo Baggins for $5 says, congrats to you, well deserved. Thank you so much. And then he won't let me call him. I can't call him McEnany. So the very first time that we met, we were on a sporking stream, and everybody's trying to tell me McEnany's name, and I'm like, so like macaroni, and like everybody died, but McEnany didn't hear me, and they were like, yes, do it, and I was like,
you know
okay.
what? If you had to pronounce his name like macaroni, it was probably an imposter.
Stop with the dad jokes. You're horrific, Steve. It might have been an impasta, though. You are true. But by the way, check out McEnany's channel. Incredibly talented, gorgeous artwork. Nothing that I'm ever going to be able to accomplish in my lifetime. So I'm just going to like sit and appreciate every single drop of it. And all that jazz. So definitely go check out. There's so many videos over there, and you won't be disappointed with any of them. They're fabulous. But it says, congratulations on the monetization, Lady G. It's well deserved. Well, mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And honestly, we need to hang out again sometime, because I miss you. And also your fantastic art. Pope Metallicus the First. We always got to make that distinction. For $10. Y'all are crazy. Hey, Lady G, I can't stay because I have to set mine up, but here's a dime for getting monetized. Good work, Marine. Rah. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you so much. Really, truly. Get yourself set up. Pee Wee Pierre, says the NPCs who hate our fellowship are Film Actors Guild. Oh, congrats. Here's to 100K and Rob Manford sucks. Well, I mean, sure. That's Here's to 100K. Lord in heaven, I don't think I'm not even at 3K, but thank you. We'll see. Maybe I'll hit 100K before the end of the year.
I mean, aim high, lady. Aim high.
I'm gonna aim. You know what? Shooting for 500,000 by the end of the year. Let's
There
do
you go.
this. If that happens, I would actually die of shock. Quite frankly. I don't even think that's possible.
I know. I have 2 videos on my channel, and I have over 100 followers. I'm like, why? Like, I haven't been on here in
Because
months.
you're adorable and we love you.
Thank you.
For sure. Project Storytime for $2. Thank you. Project says you're so kind and passionate. That's why we're here. Oh, thank you, Josh. Or is this Rebecca? I don't know. But either one, both. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I love you. Judicon, hail and congratulations, Lady Gravemaster, on reaching monetization. Thank you so much, and thank you for the $5. It means the world. Y'all are being so generous. I don't know what to do. I'm getting overwhelmed here by all of the generosity and kindness. You guys are just amazing. Oh, you're breathtaking. Wooless for $50. My good God Almighty. Says Godspeed, Lady G. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, I can literally only grow from here or be completely struck from YouTube. That's really my only 2 options. So, like, hopefully we go with the former.
Yes.
Just saying. So, thank you, Willis, so much for the generous $50. I appreciate it so much. Lord Thoth, my Lord Thoth, my fellow wrench, for Canadian $2 says, saluting and bowing, milady, fellow vet and mod in arms. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I return your salute and curtsy. For anyone that doesn't know, if you ever see me and Lord Thoth in a chat together, that's literally our greeting to one another.
Nice.
Whoever sees each other first salutes first, and then the other person has to return it. So, Salty Texas C for $10. Respect. Congratulations. Cheers. Very much appreciated. I know that we've talked about Wheel of Time stuff quite a bit, you and I. So, there's so much wrong with that. We're going to talk about Wheel of Time tonight, guys. It's going to happen. But y'all keep sending super chats. So, like, I'm getting through it, though. We're powering through. It'll be all right. Dwight Schmitz for $10 says, congrats, Lady G. Hail, Steve. Have a great Thursday. Steve, what's your thoughts on R.A. Salvatore's latest series on Dritz?
Well, the latest one is 1 book in, and I haven't read it. I'm on book 1 of the trilogy released before that. So I don't know. I hope it's good. I'll be getting there though, probably during sometime this year. But so far, the first book in the previous trilogy, the second last, I guess, is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan of R.A. Salvatore. I
have that whole damn series in hardcover.
Nice. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I've been buying them on release. So
okay, you guys slowed down. Thank you so much. So that was, I have caught up to the super chats. Andrew Matthews, yes. The friend, I know what you're talking about. No, not yet. I'm still working on convincing them. I swear. Maybe one day they will. I have no idea. It's not my work, so I can't like make that happen. But I wish I could, but I only, it's like I said, I'm not going to force anybody to do anything. We are all adults, and I will encourage you, and I can give you like my thoughts, but I'm not going to like shove it down your throat that you have to do something a certain way, because ultimately I don't pay your bills, and I don't live your life, and I don't have to deal with the people you deal with. So I'm as much as I'm telling her she just needs I can talk. As much as I am telling her she just needs to self-publish and like bite that bullet, there's just a lot of hesitation. So maybe someday. I'm working on a book. If anybody cares.
I do.
But
Absolutely.
I doubt it's ever going to see the light of day. We're going to be.
Well, it's actually well written.
I bet
Yeah,
it is.
Steeg's
Yeah.
seen a little bit of it. I appreciate that, Steeg, but we're not
Yeah,
gonna.
I would tell you if it's shit and why.
I know you would, and I
but
appreciate
it's not
that.
shit. It's actually good. Well written.
I appreciate it, but I got a long way to go. I don't know. We'll see. I still have to get Legionus his freaking duet. Oh, I don't know. Neither of you guys probably know this, but on the stream last week when I was talking, I can't remember if it was my nostalgic Nirvana or if it was my book club stream. For any of you guys that are curious, I belong to a book club, and they made me read a very bad book.
See,
By the
that's why I
way,
won't join one. I don't like
Steeg,
book clubs.
It used to be fantastic. Steeg, that book that your dad got you out of the kindness of his heart, because it says on there, readers, lovers of Game of Thrones will love this series. It's a lie. I've never even read Game of Thrones, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way you're going to love that book.
He got me book 5 for Christmas. I don't have 1, 2, and 3 and 4.
Yeah, well,
I kind of have to get them now and read 5 books, because if I get something for Christmas, I have to read it, right? So I have to read what was it you called it? Smut?
A Court of it is. It's
You're
smut.
reading A Court of Thorn of Thorn and Roses?
There you go. See, it's a
Holy
mouthful.
shit, they're so bad.
They're terrible.
They're terrible.
My book club. Okay, my book club made me. That was the one that they picked. That was the one that they picked, and I was like, I wanted to read the Dragon Bone Chair. Like, I was like, no, let's read this one. And they're like, oh well. So it ended up being a vote of 7 to. There's 15 people total in our book club, actually.
Okay.
But only 13 of us vote. So like, the person who organizes the book club, and stuff, she doesn't have a vote. Yeah, there's little grave masters running around. I'm sorry, guys.
Good.
But there's so she doesn't vote because she thinks that, and this was a rule she started this book club. She's like, no, because I don't want people to think that they have to vote the way that I vote, or vote for my book if I pick it. So like, if she suggests a book, we usually end up picking it. But just because she's got really good taste, but she doesn't vote. And then the person who reads it, so we have a vote reader, she doesn't cast a vote either. So of the 15 of us, 13 vote. Well, this new person showed up. We had one person out for the book club, and this other person brought a friend. And
oh, you never bring a friend. That's
they brought a friend, and they told the friend our rule. They were like, hey, you can put in a suggestion for us to vote on to so what happens is you bring your suggestion to the book club, and it goes into like the book is what we call it. And then each one of us like goes up, we look at what we have, and then we write down our pick and we put it in, and then the person reads out the votes. And so we know what to read for the next book club. And I fought this pick because it was a 7-6 vote, and they voted for A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I was like, guys, this does not seem up my alley, because the thing is, when you can't just like show up and write the title of the book down. You have to bring just like a synopsis, just a short
something though?
synopsis of the book.
Speaking of people who would vote for that book series, Matt Wilkins is in the chat.
Hey Matt. Yes, I did ruin it by having Steeg on, but it's okay because he's blunt and honest and we love him. But so my book club met last Saturday. We meet the last Saturday of the month, and literally the Thursday night, I was like, okay, I still have a day. I could like I read that book. It's not even a complicated read. Like everybody's like, oh,
Lady, I guessed the plot after chapter 7, and then I went and looked up the entire series, and I was like, oh, I was right. It was so bad.
My God, it was terrible. I was like,
so bad.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? So like,
Yeah.
I go ahead. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and do this thing, and then that way I can give my very honest reviews of stuff, right? And of like the book. And good God in heaven, I finished the book. They were like, oh, it took me like 2 days to read it because I couldn't put it down, but like it's such a high level read. And I was like, I finished this book. I finished it in 5.5 hours, and that's with tiny humans running around demanding my attention.
I did a review of it on my Bookstagram because it like Booktop and Bookstagram, like it's one of the popular books. Like it's the Bookstagram made me read it. Like, and I did a review of it, and I was like, this is an unpopular opinion, but this book is so bad. And I like listed my major reasons why it was so bad, but like. And then the next day I did like, here are some better books to read if you like this corner of like the fantasy genre. But I like my biggest thing is like, it's underwhelming, it's lazy, it's sophomoric. And I was like, it just breaks my heart that this is where like these young people who are into reading, I don't want to discourage someone from reading. This is where this is where we're holding our level 2. It's this. Like I can't even like wrap my head around it. That it just breaks my heart that she's being lauded as this great writer, and I'm like, it is subpar at best.
At best. Like this is so what I said on my book club stream last week, Thursday, was so the rule of thumb, we promised, like one of the rules of the book club was that we were not going to get into like erotica. Because it's like that is such a because there's a difference between like romance novels. I learned so much after I joined this book club. There's a difference between romance novels, and erotica. You can have romance in a book and it not be a romance novel. Yeah. But a romance novel, like romance, the genre is huge. It's very encompassing. It has a lot of stuff in it. But I'm trying to think. But so like romance novels themselves have to have like your MC, your love interest, and a happy ending. Like those are very basic, but those are the like must-haves. Erotica is like very graphic.
They also need a happy ending, I've heard.
Hold on. Sorry. Can you hear me now? I was in mid-rant and I realized my mic died. Hang on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go. Okay. So,
yeah.
Like,
I was just saying that erotica needs a happy ending too.
God dang it, Steve. So like it is like I've learned a lot, but they were like, we're not going to get into erotica because one, a lot of people aren't real comfortable with it. And my book club is actually I've got there's younger girls like me who are in their late 20s and early 30s, but then there's like the organizer of the book club, she's in her mid 50s, but she and I get along great. And so there's some like, you know, 40-year-olds in here too. The woman, the friend. So this past weekend was her second book club, and we ended up reading her book. She is a 44-year-old, twice divorced, childless woman who hates men. Like she gave all like her life story this past weekend, and I wanted to throw up because she's like, how are you so young and married she's like, I couldn't stay married to the same man for more than 10 years because my husband and I have been married for almost 11 years now. And she's like, I could never do that.
She sounds like a bundle of fun.
She does, right? So we're like, she's talking about how rich the characters are and how wonderful it is to see like this strong female presence.
Okay,
and
but
that, you know,
every
not
single modern book that's coming out right
pretty
now.
much. And she's like, and I just love how the relationship is like electric. She literally called it electric.
No, no, no,
And
no,
I
no.
looked at her and I said, "You're in your mid 40s and you think that this
Yeah.
is electric?"
No, and like, and
Probably
clearly she
probably
knows
static
nothing.
electricity from petting the cat.
Probably. But like this, okay, so I am not gonna lie. When they told me when I read the brief synopsis, I was like, so the way that she phrased this, I could see why so many of these women in the book club voted for it, because she sort of took this tagline, but she's like, MC is a huntress who accidentally kills a sacred soul
Yeah.
and is swept to an immortal court
Mm-hmm. It's a
to
fairy
be
court.
judged. And it's like, that sounds pretty good.
It's not. You
But
know what
it's
she
not.
did? You know what she did? And this is I very much believe this, because like I am a fan of like fantasy romance. It's not highbrow reading. But the stuff from the 80s is really good and I really love it. I love all those authors who came out of the 80s.
Mhm.
This, what she did, and the thing is, what I find to be the difference is that the authors from the 80s, they did have, you know, love interests and bedroom scenes and all this stuff, but they were handled really well and they were earned
Yes.
by the main characters. What she
Yes.
did is she got on Archive of Our Own, which is a fan fiction site for those who don't know. She thought up a couple erotic bedroom scenes, thought up how many men she could get this young lady in bed with, and then world built around it. I don't even know what the name of her world is, and I don't know how big it is either. But these other authors from the 80s, I could probably draw you a map. They're so detailed. This is the laziest world building I have ever read in my life.
Yes. That's what I said. Like, that's
So
what
it's like True Blood, where
well,
where the lead is basically banging stereotypes. You know, a Southern gentleman, a Viking, a lumberjack, what have you.
I've never watched True Blood. But
I
I
did,
think that
but
was
didn't
a
know what
dig
it
into
was
Troubled
first.
Green because she likes True Blood. I do know that, right?
Oh.
Troubled Green? No.
No, I've never
not.
watched it.
It's Tugs. You said Tugs does like.
Oh yeah, okay.
Tugs does. But she also likes The Bachelor. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, and Legionists, the moment you have been waiting for, especially, someone has come a knocking, and hello there, Prince.
Hey, congrats on the monetization, but I'm here for the smut books. So
oh, we're here for this. Okay, well then you're in luck because like here you go. If you want grapey praising, like this thing glorifies some grape. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
Well, and also Lady Gravemaster, I think what it also, and this is something I get on I get on my Bookstagram and just piss people off daily. It's so much fun to watch. But I think that this comes back to a bigger like issue in society that like, and Evie magazine talks about this a lot, is that casual sex and just girls going around and doing whatever the hell they want have zero consequences. And I'm just like, this is the most nauseating like idea that this woman is getting across in this series. It just breaks my heart that that's what she's essentially saying. So there's so many problems wrong with this, and I hate that so many young girls are just lauding this book. I'm just like, oh, stop it.
Yeah, I agree. Like, so when we were discussing this book this past Saturday, like the way that these, so there were only 3 out of the 15 of us that read it. There were only 3 that liked it. Of course, the one who suggested it, the friend who brought her, and then the youngest member who I'm going to say is probably the equivalent of Krista. Like,
you know what?
Like,
you know
just
what the
very
problem
sweet.
is, though? If a bunch of people say that, yeah, this movie, this book is so bad, and this is why, often people who like it will take it personal.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
they do on Bookstagram. Trust me, it's like an affront to their character.
And if you can give like legitimate reasons, you can say, look, I don't appreciate the glorified, like very dark eroticism that's in this book. So when we were talking about it on Saturday, this was originally a YA novel.
Oh,
yeah.
So she's originally a YA author, And the way that the girl or the woman, the lady, I don't even know what to call her, the wine aunt, there we go, who suggested this book, was talking about how it's called oh god, because you've got young adult, like YA, so young adult. This is new adult, so they made it
so it's like adult.
Yeah, basically this new genre, I guess that they're trying to call it, is now new adult, because it's basically YA authors with much more graphic stuff than YA novels are allowed to print.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, first of all, like she broke. I voted to have her removed from the book club. Like this is why I hate organized groups.
Vote
I was
her
like,
off the island.
Yes, I was vote her off. She broke the rule. Like this was erotica. I don't care. Like she brought her suggestion was book number 2 of this series for next month.
She was hiding a Snickers bar all along.
Yeah, something like
I'm
that.
starting to think she likes to read smut.
She does like to read smut, and she's trying to convince us that these books are something that they are not.
Yeah,
she's like, giving you the I read it for the articles type spiel.
Essentially. She's like, no, like this is the stuff that we've been craving as women and as readers. And you like, yeah, that's what I said. Like I sat there. So the rule is you have to sit quietly so the first person that goes and gives their opinion of the book and like lays it out, the first person that goes is the person who suggested it. And then they basically get to lay their case out, and then people can pick it apart or make their own individual statements or whatever they want to do. Like I had to sit there and listen to this woman tell me that this book is like the best thing ever, and that it's up there with, because she said this when she brought it in and suggested it. She said this as well, but she repeated it this past Saturday and said that these books are on par with Lord of the Rings and Chronicles of Narnia.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. As a heart attack.
How did you not punch her? I would have.
Because I have restraint.
Based on this, she might like that.
No kidding. Yes, I agree with that statement.
Oh, man. But, like, she's like, the second book is even better. It gets way more in-depth and detailed. And I'm like...
No, they just have a lot of sex. That's it.
Way more in-depth or way deeper?
It's probably because it's probably when the first threesome happens.
Do you know what the first book should be called? Just the Tip.
Oh my god. Honestly, this is like, imagine, okay, here's the thing, guys, stop me if you've heard this one before. She is a 19-year-old badass capable of anything, but stumbles into some trouble that's just a little bit above what she can handle. But because of her inner strength and this, you know, she's like no other girl that he's ever seen before. This ancient immortal being is going to fall head over heels in love with her.
So it's like Ray.
Right?
They should make a movie like this.
They probably will.
Oh, I can't even fathom.
Yes. This is going to be turned into a movie or a TV show. I guarantee.
It already kind of sounds like a porn plot.
Do what you want with me. I have inner strength.
Basically.
It's just, but like, Stieg, I realize that your father bought it for you. And
it literally says on the cover that it's the next big thing since Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And it says,
and it doesn't say it's book 5 either. I thought it was a standalone book someone wrote. I had seen the name somewhere, so I recognized it, but I've never read any.
Yeah.
And then I checked and I was like, oh, this is book 5. And then I looked it up and I'm like, okay, there's like a box with the first 4. And I have it in my Amazon basket. And then you mentioned this series on a stream the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this sounds familiar. And then, oh no. This is what I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Steve.
And you know what's sad is just her other, I think she has 2 other series out right now. They just get progressively worse. Like if you think this one's bad, the Throne of Glass, I guess, is just like it's pure on just pouring the whole way through. Just like the whole way through.
That was another suggestion brought by one of the 3 who liked this, who didn't originally like. Not so obviously, like I said, the girl, the woman who originally who suggested this book and it got voted, her vote was obviously her recommendation was for book number 2. And then one of the younger girl who liked it recommended the Throne of Glass because all of her friends said, well, if you liked that, you're going to love the Throne of Glass. The Throne of Glass is a YA series. I looked. It's a YA series. Thankfully, none of these books got selected. And here's the thing. Normally I don't cheer authoritarian stuff. And yeah, you can maybe call me a hypocrite because this one went in my favor. But the organizer of the book club exists for a reason. And she has 5 main things that she does. She hosts, she picks the site for the book club. So we are in a different home or a different location every month for the book club. And she assigns different duties, who's going to bring refreshments or who's going whatever it's going to be. And who's going to be the person that counts the vote that month. So that everybody sort of takes turns so that you're not always the one that's not getting to vote, because that would suck. But her third one is literally she can overrule the decision and go with a book that she feels is better for the book club as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And she did that in this case because, unfortunately, old girl managed to get 4 votes and I managed to get 4 votes. And then there was, onesies and twosies. But because we had a split, usually what happens is if we are reading a series and it's a tie, the tie goes to the series, if that makes sense. So because this is technically a series book, the tie should have gone to her. The organizer of our book club was due to the fact that the majority did not care for this particular story, and it's led to some heated, when she says heated discussion, guys, I may or may not have thrown a cupcake.
You know what?
I wanted a lamp to break, but I threw a cupcake, and you know what? I felt justified because when I was talking, this prick, I want to use other words, but I'm not going to. She interrupted me after I let her go on her 17-minute spiel of lies about this book. She interrupted me and said that I must have comprehensive problems, reading comprehensive problems. And I looked at her and I said, "Excuse me?" And she was like, "Well, clearly you just didn't understand the story." And I was like, there wasn't much there wasn't
a story.
Strand. Yeah,
it wasn't a plot.
There was nothing there. I said
You
it was
know
very
what?
vapid and shallow. And she was like, "Well, maybe you only thought it was vapid and shallow because you're vapid and shallow." And I held myself together and I was like, "Look, I was taught to respect my elders, but you're not that much older than me. You would have been around 13 when I was born." I said, "Maybe 15. I'm not quite sure. You look like you're in your 60s, though. So I'm going to do what I was taught and not say anything at all because I can't say something nice." And she's like, "And we'll all be better for it." She was like, I'm sure your husband and children love when you shut your mouth." And I threw a cupcake at her because she brought my kids into it. I was like, "Nope. We're done."
For someone that reads smut books, she sure sounds like she hasn't had an orgasm in a while.
Uh-huh.
That's why she's reading it.
Every Sunday, I host a D&D game with 4 female players.
Mhm.
I know
That's your
what
problem right there.
interruptions. I know what interruptions feels like.
You're a terrible human being, Steve. But God dang it. Oh
Well, and
my
you know
good
what's sad is, again, I'm a reader, I'm a booky person, and obviously have a bookstagram. I care about this stuff. You go to Barnes and Nobles and you look at the shelves that, or the tables that specifically these kinds of books are on. It's the book talk made me read it shelf. And if you read the back, like the summaries of all these books, it's like, first of all, why did none of these editors look at the summaries of other books and make sure they didn't sound exactly the same? And also, they all sound the exact same. And if they ever comes up the propriety of orange trees, fucking toss that book out the window.
Would you say you reckon there's a bit more of a? Do you reckon there's a bit more of a push lately to get more, I guess, sexualized writings out there?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
It is pervasive because, like, what I've noticed, especially with her, it wasn't enough that she loved it. You know how, like, you present your case and people can make up their own minds whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
No, she was actively trying to convince everybody to love this book, because if you don't love this book, then something must be wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with me and I love this book, so you have to love this book too. Like, they desperately need everybody to be like in lockstep with this stuff. It's horrific.
Kind of it's a case of narcissism almost, because they need the validation.
Absolutely.
What I don't get though is, I mean, like, sex sells, always has, always will. But if you're gonna go for something sexual, wouldn't you want something that's more visual? Like, wouldn't you rather?
She needs to read Conan, because the Conan novels by
So
Robert Jordan.
I'll tell you what psychologists and
I just mean,
and
like,
people much smarter than me. Men are visual, women are
emotional.
No, we're not like, men are visual creatures. Women really, like, it's not that we don't appreciate things visually. It's that we're more like,
more in our head, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more in our head. Like fantasy world, fantasy men.
It's
fantasy
what we
everything.
can't see. It's like, I think it's what we can't see. We have to imagine is more the draw.
So it's more like the daydreaming aspect.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. So that's why women read and men look at pictures.
Right.
But,
so you kind of like project, you know what, you project, like, because a book describes, how character looks, but you can kind of form that image in your own head, and that way you can kind of, like, mold it a little bit to whatever you want it to be.
Right? Maybe that's why more men read comic books.
Oh yeah, imagine that.
Maybe.
Shocking.
Could be. I don't know.
Possibly.
I haven't seen the statistics though. But it's my impression that
Gilkman, $9.99. Hi, Gilky. Hey, Thomas. You said, congratulations, you deserve this and so much more. Hope to meet you one day. Hail to the panel. Thank you, Gilky.
Yeah, he's good people.
Yeah, I hope to meet you someday too. That would be fantastic. I adore you. Thomas, I'm glad you're doing okay, and I hope the wine stuff is still kicking butt and taking names. Thank you so much. That's incredibly generous, and I really appreciate it. Brightest Day, not half as much as you deserve. Oh, thank you, Brightest Day. I'm going to even completely ignore the context that the quote comes from. I guess it's kind of like not really Bilbo's birthday speech, but anytime I see stuff like not half as much as you deserve, I always just like, I like less than half of you half as well as you should like. But like, it just always makes me think of that. But thank you, Brightest Day. I hope that we all grow together and that I get better and better at taking care of you guys, because y'all have definitely taken care of me, and I appreciate y'all. George Peter Gatsis for 10 Canadian says, VFX, sound, and video remastered 1941 Captain Marvel serial is premiering on George Peter Gatsis' YouTube channel Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. You got to see the promo trailer. It will impress. Hail Fellowship. Well,
I didn't even know there was one. That sounds awesome, though.
It does. Thank you for that. I am looking forward to it. So Friday at 9 Eastern. That's I mean, right in the middle of when I'm going to be modding some stuff. But you guys may have heard of it. It's a little show called FNT. I'll be over there modding it. And yeah,
just a little
it keeps
show.
me busy. It's just a tiny show. but it'll be great. John Beck on the donation side for $3 says, congrats. Thank you, the John Beck. I appreciate you so much. Now, hold on a minute, sir. What are you doing, you crazy?
That's me.
That's you. Congrats to the great Lady G, one of the best women online, even with your Smut Books channel memberships soon. Do you want a Smut Book channel membership? I can
Once
try.
a month, I want you to write a smut paragraph.
Oh, so I can be a monthly simp and shout out the chat. Thank you all.
There needs to be a smut channel.
Needs to be a smut
Lady
channel.
G smut.
Well, since we are here, and Legionist, this is what I was telling you to hang on for. Channel memberships are currently under review.
Oh, when did you do it?
Like 2 hours ago.
It'll be done by the time you wake up.
Oh, sweet.
More than likely.
So, all right, this is perfect segue. Thank you. Look at you, Prince Lethal. You provide. It's so wonderful. You're awesome. So yes, memberships are under review, and so there's 3 levels. So Arena.
You're muted.
I'm muted.
You're not now.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? My mic is like super touchy. Okay. So there's 3 levels. There we go. 3 levels. So the first one is going to be Ocarina, like from Ocarina of Time, from Zelda. And so that one's going to be early access to vids and some community posts. And then we've got the second one. That's a loud keyboard. Who's typing?
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Trouble.
Let me mute
I was
myself.
like, dang, is that me? You're fine. No, you don't have to. But the second level is fellowship, with some more cool stuff there. But the third level, it seemed only fitting. And if my friend ever publishes, you guys can be like, hey, I've heard of this. But the third level is Gravemaster. And it just seemed appropriate. So you can all be Grave Masters.
That sounds cryptic.
But so in Gravemaster Lethal, I have a perk and it's called Give the People What They Want. And so you can tell me stuff that you want to see and you don't want to see. So if you want a monthly smut comment, you just go ahead and get that little perk. And
you know he's gonna do it now.
I know he's gonna do it now, but I'm just saying, if you want your monthly smut comment, I will have to. It will be plagiarized severely, but I'll put it in there because you asked me to. Plus, it's you, so I would do it anyway.
Sold.
There we go. So, and Legionist, for you, I know that you have been asking for a duet with myself and my husband to sing Phantom of the Opera, and I blame my husband for that because he mentioned that I enjoy musicals and singing and such. And then I really stepped in it last week because I was trying to. Okay, so it is. Well, now my husband has me second guessing. It might also be a Final Fantasy VIII song.
Ooh.
Did you see the Manowar Phantom of the Opera?
Mm-mm.
Did it live with a band called Holy Hell.
I need to see that. But last week I was trying to think of a song and I couldn't. So I was talking about gargoyles last week. It was during my nostalgia stream, and the instrumentals for that, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that animated series, but the first 2 seasons are incredible, and the movie that they made is also fantastic. But I was like, every time I hear the like gargoyles theme, it makes me think of this other song. And then all I did was do some like ooze, and Legionist was like, you must sing now. And I was like, no, we don't do that. And so I really stepped in it last week. But yes, Legionist, if you're at that tier, I will attempt to put something together for you, even though I have no idea how to edit a music like a song. I literally just sang raw on the mic last week. So it was, yeah. It was just funny but there you go, Legionist. If you want that, you can go get that perk and ask for it, and I will do everything in my power to make it happen. Look at this. I'm already bending to the whim of 2 toxic patriarchal men. Look at that.
Let's fucking go. Long live the patriarchy.
Long live the patriarchy. There you go. So I'm at your mercy, y'all. But I just think customer service is really lacking of late, and really trying to like take care of your peeps. So like I said, anything I can do to try and make what you want to hear about or what you want to avoid hearing about, I will do my best to make happen. Because like some stuff, if you're like, I don't want to talk about Lord of the Rings, no, you're at like, I'm sorry, it will be discussed at length
in the wrong channel
multiple times. And like Steve, if you come on and you're like, hey, can you not talk about anime or do the Sailor Moon streams anymore with Lethal? I'm going to tell you no.
I got Mara really good in the D&D
I know
chat.
you did.
I said I deliberately misspelled the name and I said Sailor Chew, and she wasn't happy.
He was insulting Neo Queen Serenity, Lethal.
I'm not sure which one it
that
was.
will happen. That will sort itself out. That one.
I vaguely remember those stories.
I
They're
honestly
good.
didn't know what it was though until someone told me what it was.
Was it me?
I-
Probably me.
Yeah,
It
I
was
don't know.
probably.
Could have been.
Before you got yeeted from
Again,
the Twitter for the second time.
I'm enjoying not being on there. I'll probably stay off it for a bit longer, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. It's not.
You got
good.
yeeted over nothing though.
Yeah, he did.
I got
yeeted over
reported,
nothing.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's what happened to me when it's so silly. I was replying to something Christy had, tweeted.
According to Christy.
What?
According to Christy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she and I just joke. We call each other names and all that.
Yeah,
We've been doing it for years. But there was an article about some 20-year-olds that were going to spend a week or a month on a deserted island or something, kind of, like a reality show.
Yep.
And the women looked like what you would expect from a reality show. And I just commented, those, and I said those skanky hoes would not survive for a day without their cell phones. I got suspended permanently for inciting violence against a protected group.
Skanky hoes are a protected group?
Skanky hoes are a protected group.
Yeah, and taking their phones away is violence, I guess. I don't know. Tried to appeal, but no. This was horrible.
Skanky hoes are a protected group. I did not know that.
Well,
I've never said that word on Twitter ever since.
I know someone who can go join their little clique because I don't want her in mine, and I'm not even a cliquey person. I just don't want her in my book club because she's poisoning it.
But is she a skanky hoe or just a grumpy wine aunt?
She's just a frumpy, crumpy wine aunt who
is she the type of grumpy wine aunt that would like hit on her niece's boyfriend right in front of her?
Probably. It wouldn't shock me. The woman's got no shame or class. So there you go. It's good stuff.
Oh boy.
Eric,
you got a super chat from Teresa, which is from me, which she forgot to put in it.
Okay, I am running down the line. One sec. Yes, I will get. I see it. I see it. So Eric Becca for $10 says, "Congrats on getting monetized. Take my money." Well, thank you for giving me your money. I appreciate it. Timon LFP for $5 sends a super sticker, and if I remember correctly, it was the thumbs up pair for $5. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Ms. Martin, I believe this is laundering money through Teresa. Sailor Moo sucks. I don't know who Sailor Moo is. Is that like
That's a pet cow.
Pet cow? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Reenie sucks, so I get on that bandwagon. We dislike Reenie. I accidentally. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
I have finally figured out how to send super chats. I basically PayPal Teresa money and tell her to super chat the money in my name.
So yes, you are laundering money
It is
very
a
well.
laundering.
That's straight up laundering.
Yeah.
I'm doing it the boomer way.
There you go. Cal G donated on the Streamlabs side twice again. Says for both for $2. Says, man, here I'm thinking this book was John Green meets Game of Thrones. To me, I think that books like this and 50 Shades of Grey got so popular is because the Wynants got bored and fantasized about being ran through like a track meet. I'm sorry, it was my ghetto side talking. I promised Jennifer Cisco in the chat I would keep that side contained. Either that or I'm trying to be as blunt as Stieg. Well, I appreciate the honesty. I can't believe I just read all of that live. Literally, like,
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Like, what you are witnessing right now are you're witnessing women who wish they had been born in the 60s, because it's or wishing that they had been I should rephrase that, wishing they had been like at Woodstock, like in their 20s or whatever during the 60s, but they were born in the 60s instead, and now they hate that they were born in the 60s and 70s and they hate their life because they bought into all of the feminist BS about how it's great to be by yourself and you don't need a man and you can do it all. And now they are literally trying to do it all and it's exhausting. Because
you
raising...
know what, though? From a male perspective, I've always been for the first two waves of feminism. Women should be allowed to vote and all that. But the third one is off-putting as heck. It really is. And it is making women look bad, No,
it's making women bad. Like, it's not even just making women look bad. It's setting women up for failure. And men.
Yeah. But it's basically the ones who get a platform are the ones that say the unhinged stuff. So over time, that will leave an impression of modern women. In people's minds, right? So it's actually doing a lot of harm.
It really is. And it's hurt. And like, I always hear stuff like, oh, there's like no traditional women left anyway. Oh no, trust me, there's plenty of us. It's just we're too busy taking care of our families or trying to set ourselves up so that we can support our family better, or so that we can be stay at home or something like that. There's plenty of us that still exist. It's just we aren't as loud because, again, these women who screech, like, TikTok to me is just it is insanity personified, because like I can't imagine getting up and doing like a 45-second clip of just screaming while my tits are hanging out or like my hair is greasy. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I saw one with a huge plastic ring through her nose the other day.
Yeah, it's like it was the glow stick necklaces, but I digress. A lot of like, guys, this stuff is just, it's perversive in every way. It's getting into everything. It's everywhere, and it's just a bummer.
It's actually what my dad had a friend who used to work at an asylum in the 60s and 70s. And he would tell stories about what the guy had seen. And it's basically what we see on TikTok now.
It's a madhouse. Hey, Stieg, I Googled, are skanky hoes a protected class? And it's just come up with like prostitution laws throughout Europe.
Huh. Well, they're protected from having their cell phones taken away, or they would be, because that would be thievery, wouldn't it?
I did not know this, but prostitution is legal in the Netherlands.
I knew that, but I've been there.
It's in Norway. It's legal to sell sex, but it's illegal to buy.
Well, that's all good.
That's weird.
And the prostitutes pay taxes, which means the government is a pimp.
Lovely.
One came up that said Jesus loves hoes.
Oh God. I mean, he loves everybody.
Yes. But he also doesn't want people living that life.
No, he would prefer not.
I don't think he
but-
would approve of TikTok.
I
No.
don't think.
I don't think
he would
Satan
either.
approves of TikTok.
I think it was Gundam. I think it was him. He's like, I'm pretty sure hell is just TikTok on an endless loop. And I have a feeling he's right.
Yeah, that might not be far off from the truth.
Just insane. But so, boys, you probably aren't going to care too much about this, but I promise we'll get to something that you will care about in a little bit. Though, Stieg, you might actually like these. But yes, exactly. Legionists love the sinner, not the sin. So I don't know if you've ever read this series, Green, but I mean your name it's got your name.
I haven't.
So this
Ooh.
is called the Green Rider series. Now it should have ended after book 3, and she's currently on book 9.
Okay.
So she's still on the horse by book 3.
No, she's not on the horse by book. Well, she is on a horse, but not that. You know what? Stop.
Awesome cover though.
Yeah, it's so the cover
it's a
is
beautiful
really
cover.
great. So Kristen Britton is the author, and
Okay.
she did really where this series lost me, honestly, because I'm not a huge steampunk fan.
Ooh.
Like it when it comes to steampunk, I have to be expecting it. What she did,
Sure.
this was basically a solid fantasy series for 4
Mhm.
books, and then the 5th book was straight steampunk
Okay.
and time travel.
Oh.
So she did
Oh.
time travel and she did steampunk, and it sort of lost me.
Yeah.
I
Sounds like a lot.
I like steampunk, but time travel, I hate it, except if it's in Terminator or Back to the Future. You know?
Yeah, like I can't those are the two, like very few series have ever handled time travel that I actually care for it, like that I'm not put off by it. And you're right, it's Terminator was one, Back to the Future was another, and then because even Planet of the Apes, I wasn't a huge fan of the use of it in there.
I just never liked it.
Yeah, it's one of my
Lots.
least, because it's so
It's overused.
it's overused, and it's not used correctly. You have to be very intelligent and
Mhm.
very, like, you have to have, because when you time this was the problem with one of many, but like the Star Trek movies 2009, when you split realities like that and when you have time travel like that, there is so much room for error. There's so much room for error.
Is your
Yeah.
problem with the Planet of the Apes time travel when the apes go back to present?
Yes, but like, no, just really,
Because I don't think that's much of an issue. That's kind of like how, like, if
But why would
Kyle Reese never went from the future to the present and didn't get with Sarah Connor, there'd be no John Connor.
mhm.
Like, Terminator makes, especially just the first Terminator in particular, makes sense because it's a closed loop. But that is the
Yeah.
loop. The loop is that the future will happen, Skynet will blow up Earth, and it'll all go to shit. Humanity's just about to win the war against Terminators. So they send a Terminator back in time to kill Sarah Connor before she can have John Connor. And then John Connor sends Kyle Reese back to protect her. But Kyle Reese ends up fucking John Connor's mum, which ends up being his dad, which
Uh-huh.
gives birth to John Connor. And then the cycle repeats. It's a loop. So it makes sense. It's kind of the same, and especially the first 5 Planet of the Apes movies, like the original ones.
Yeah.
Because if the apes never went back to the past, people wouldn't know what happened to Charlton Heston's character, and the government would have been like, holy shit, we have to stop that from happening, which wouldn't have led to the apes rising up, and then the circle just goes in a... So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because it's
That's-
closed loop.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's fair. I guess it's just like, I understand why it's in the Planet of the Apes. Like I said, it's one of my least favorite tropes, and it's
I'm the
so
same.
hard.
I'm just okay if it's a closed loop. If it's a closed loop
that
and it makes sense.
Like,
But once
have
you get into
ever...
like Terminator Genesis, where you're like, okay, this makes no
Ugh,
fucking sense anymore.
no.
And not only does it make no sense anymore, everything's redundant and irrelevant.
You know,
exactly.
in the novelization, I think it was, of Terminator 1, they had a bit that was, left out of the movie. The Terminator, when he's killing the other Sarah Connors, he checks their legs to see if there's a scar from the injury she gets in the factory.
Yeah,
I wish they would have kept that in the movie.
Yeah, they should have kept that in the movie. That would have been cool.
My only thing with that, with the Terminator, the first Terminator movie, is when they say he couldn't bring back weapons from the future. I think that's bullshit. He could have like broken down a weapon and put it inside him, and then when he gets back to the present, just cut himself apart and take the parts out.
You know what? They do that in one of the comics.
Oh, really?
Yes, they grab one of the resistant guys, rip his gut open, and stuff a blaster pistol thing in his gut.
Well, I meant the Terminator probably could have done that easier because it wouldn't hurt him.
Yeah, the Terminator did it.
Yep.
So and that made perfect sense. I highly recommend that comic, by the way. It's awesome.
I'll check that out.
When it comes to like, she tries to do a closed loop, but the thing is, okay, just guys, bear with. So I really liked this series up until that book as well, because it, like, if you want some like love interest, other stuff that's been coming out that we talked about earlier, this has some of that in here. But she goes, it gets really like not good in the same book where she does the time. So basically what happens is there's a king and she is a commoner, and they both really like each other, but he goes for this arranged marriage and she doesn't want to just be like his side piece, obviously. So she goes on all these dangerous missions, and in this particular book that she time travels to the future in, she's seeing something that comes about, and it's gonna like destroy the kingdom. She's seeing what's happened when the kingdom she's a part of, if it falls. And I'm not like, it gets really modernized pretty.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it so you've got like a steampunk and a modern and all this other stuff going on with it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she has been really kind of, especially as far as female protagonists in this day and age goes, she's been really chaste. Like, she's not into being any kind of like slobbery kisses or any of that. Like, there's no awkward bedroom scenes or anything like that. So I was like really into this novel, into this series. Well, in the novel with the steampunk and the time travel, she falls in love with a dude from the future. And then he gets her pregnant.
Sarah and Kyle.
Not because she is traveling to the past. And so the rules in this book, she gets pulled back to the past by somebody. She doesn't know how, like, she ends up getting pulled back to the past. And she tries to take the future guy with her, but I guess the rules are, because he doesn't exist back then, he can't travel to the past with her. So he like disappears because he didn't exist yet. So like, he's in his 30s or whatever. So as they're traveling back through time, once they cross the threshold of his birth, he vanishes. Because so now they're basically saying you cannot travel into the past further back than you existed. Is essentially what they're saying.
So he died?
Well, yeah, he like disappeared. But the thing is, so she's pregnant. So this child is like past and future. Well, the king's queen is who, like, by the two of them are really good friends. Like that, like there's that whole drama in their type stuff too. But hang on. So when she travels back to the past, her baby goes to the queen. And there's no, that was my face too. A trouble,
well,
like,
shouldn't the baby disappear as well?
You know what? It's,
or half the baby.
like, it's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
because
Sounds like she's
the baby,
stretching.
yeah, the baby breaks the rules, but it should still be bound by the rules. And so
Yeah.
there's just all this confusion. And then because you already, like, she's setting it up for you to hate the queen. And now you hate the queen even more because you're like, no, she should have been the one that married the king. Like, tradition be damned and stuff. But like, the king is actually one of my favorite characters because he's chivalrous and he like, he's honorable.
Yeah.
And so, like, he is what was still keeping me in the game. And he wants to break, but he never does. He never steps off that path of like chivalry and honor.
Oh, I'm gonna have to read this. This is giving me ideas.
Right.
You know
so,
what
like,
though? This book does not have a key on the cover.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
It's a rare modern book. It doesn't
is.
have the key.
All of her covers. So I'll show you guys. These are her covers. So
Yeah, these are cool covers. They look retro.
Yeah, that artwork's beautiful.
The High King's Tomb. This is my favorite one. It's number 3. This is my absolute favorite one. This is Black Veil. This is number 4. This one's pretty great too. And then the 5th one. Hold on. I'll get to it. This one is Mirror Sight. This is where she time travels.
Okay.
And
you say it should have ended after book 4?
It should have ended after book 3. Like, you'll see what I mean if you actually read it. Yeah. It feels, this series at this point feels like she was only planning to write a trilogy, and then she saw how well she saw, like, hey, I have more ideas for this story, and it's really good, and instead of starting a new series, I'm just going to keep going with this one.
Well, and so probably her editor was like, go, be free, write.
Yeah. So I'm sure that, like, so this is Firebrand. This might actually be the one where she time travels. It's been a while since I've read them, but it's either Mirror Sight or Firebrand that she time travels in. And that's when I was just kind of like, because there's also a lot of time in between each book. Like, there's 4 or 5 years that it took, but they're all the way up now. This is an in-betweener.
You have someone in the back.
I saw that.
Ooh.
Hello, Miss Martin. Hello. So this is, I think, the latest one, Winter Light, this one right here. So her book covers are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, the reason that I picked up this series, up is because of the book cover. Yeah. I was like, this looks really, like, it's not a chess piece, it's not an apple, it's not a ribbon. It's
not a
none
table
of that.
with a map and a dagger on it.
Yeah, it's not a freaking dagger.
Yeah, this is like a callback to like Robin McKinley's books.
So like I picked it up because it's like her book covers were so fantastic, and I was like, yeah, I'm intrigued. So by the time I found this series, the 3rd book cover is what caught my eye. I was like, whoa, what's going, like, she's gone half invisible, like, there's a black stallion, it's a High King's, like, what, like, I was legitimately intrigued by the book cover and then the title, and then it said that it was, number 3 in the Green Rider series, and I was like, okay, so I picked up the first 2 as well. I read all 3 of these books in a week.
Wow.
Damn.
Fantastic.
Wow. Okay. Yes, I'm not I mean, like, so myself and Untamed Mando, we just started a like YouTube podcast. I'm still kind of new to this world, and we're gonna go through like all of Tolkien's work because we're like, yeah, no way are we gonna let Amazon get away with this? So I will have to put them on the back burner, but I will definitely be adding these to the TBR. That's
totally fine. They're just something to keep on your radar. But this so when we came this week, I recommended this first book. Like, there's fan films made of this series. That's like how good it is. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's here we go. Terry Goodkind gave it a shout out. This was the one I was looking for. A wonderfully captivating heroic fantasy adventure. This is the rarest of finds, a truly enjoyable read. And that's Terry Goodkind.
Terry Goodkind, he passed away a couple of years ago.
Yes.
But he had finished the series, and I've finished reading the last book of his Sword of Truth
Yes.
series last year.
You finished
Out
it?
of all the big fantasy writers I have read, Terry
Mhm.
Goodkind was probably the one that stuck the ending the best.
Mm.
He completely delivered in the final book.
I'm glad to hear that. Like I really hate when a series is so good and then it just like when it doesn't stick the landing, it just breaks your heart.
Yeah,
Uh,
most of the old school writers stuck the ending. Even Sanderson stuck to Robert Jordan's ending, in a satisfying way with the Wheel of Time.
Mm-hmm.
I think even like it really does depend on what the ending is. I think sometimes you can have a good series with a bad ending, but if the ending undoes or makes the whole plot redundant, then I'd say it destroys the whole series.
Yeah, it's the same thing with time travel. Like it's the same thing with time travel. You can if your time travel turns out to be like a cheap trick and it undoes all of the stakes.
Yeah, then throw it in the bin.
Yeah, like it's not worth it.
Yeah, but I do also think you can have a good series just with a bad ending.
Yeah, you can. You can have a great series, a phenomenal series with a bad ending. That's absolutely true.
Neon Genesis Evangelion. Let's go.
Oh.
Hi, Teresa.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Teresa.
Hi,
How are
Teresa.
you?
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. It's going great. Glad to be here. Well, congratulations, lady. You finally made it.
Thank you. I did. Now I can be what is it that Gundam says? I can now afford 2 packages of canned tuna.
Oh.
Instead of just one. No, I'm actually really excited. I didn't honestly, I'm still trying to process the fact that this is real.
Yay.
And just like genuinely, I'm so thankful for all of you guys, especially you, Miss Mart. Like, you have been so helpful and so supportive, and you let me come on your channel and go on my crazy ass tangents. So I appreciate it.
Are you kidding me? No, I love having you. I mean, yeah, she's been on our book club we're on Return of the King. We're going through the entire Lord of the Rings series, and that's
about to hit the Silmarillion.
Yeah, we're going to hit the Hobbit, then the Silmarillion. But that was the first time you were on my channel. But I first met you on Father Miller's channel. That's where we got to know each other.
For Catholicism and fellowship. It's wonderful. Logan would be so proud. Yeah, and to clarify it, guys, her book club is not the one where I threw the cupcake. I like her book.
Wait. Teresa's not the one that wants the smart books.
I know. Shocking, right? I don't know if you heard the earlier stream, Teresa, but so my book club that I meet in person with, we read a book called A Court of Thorns and Roses. God, that title just does not roll off the tongue.
It doesn't. I always want to say a thort of corn and roses.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my goodness.
On crones and roses.
It is a throne. It is a. See, I almost said a throne of courts and roses. That's not it either. It is a court of thorns and roses. There we go. And it is a smut book. And the person who suggested it to our book club tried to say that it wasn't a smut book.
Oh,
and it is 1,000% a smut book. And I threw a cupcake because she brought my children into it. So I was like, no, you're done.
Oh, no.
She was
like, that was the one where I was on the airplane and I can't get the audio on the airplane. So I was just reading the chat and I'm like, what the heck are they talking about?
that was my book club stream. That was my other live stream last Thursday. Yeah, that was it. But
yeah, no. You don't bring smut around kids, no matter how you feel about smut.
Well, no. It wasn't
that's
that
for
they
18 and up.
No, it wasn't even that I would bring, like, it had nothing to do with bringing smut around my kids. She said that I bet your husband and your kids appreciate when you shut your mouth. Essentially, like, it was much more colorful, and like she insulted my like I was done with this. Why not? I was like, nope.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought she brought my children into it. Oh,
that's
she's lucky there was a.
That's when you're both supposed to strip down to the underwear and have pillow fights in slow motion.
No, that's where she's lucky there's a table in between us, or she would have gotten cold clocked instead of a cupcake. And I literally, as I threw the cupcake at her, I was like, here. I was like, have a cupcake. And just like just yeeted that in her face and didn't
did it
care.
hit her? I want to know if it hit
did.
her.
It hit her in the eye.
Oh my
And there were sprinkles on it.
gosh.
And
that's a waste of a cupcake.
No, it felt pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like that cupcake served a higher purpose.
What did she say after that?
What'd she say after that? She wanted me kicked out of the book club.
It would have been awesome if she started crying and went, I have gluten allergies.
I'm just not built that like.
She just really needs to get laid. That's her problem.
She does. She needs a good
dicking.
Yeah, a good snogging. There you go. We're gonna take a hard left again. Andrew Mathis for £5 again. Thank you. Says always liked Raymond E. Feist. The best I think is Daughter of the Empire and the rest of the trilogy. Oh,
Feist is awesome.
Feist is incredible, guys. Yes, listen to Andrew. You will not be disappointed if you pick up any of Feist's books.
You know what? Henry Cavill recommended Feist because he was being asked about fantasy books, and he said you should read anything but anything by Raymond Feist and David Gemmell.
Yes. No, he didn't.
No, he did.
Yeah, I showed Teresa. I showed Teresa the clip while she was reading Feist.
Yeah, I see. I'm in the middle of this right now, Lady Gravemaster, for the first time, so I'm completely unspoiled.
See what happens when people listen to me?
Make a joke. You know who else is completely unspoiled? That lady from the book club.
Oh no, no, but yeah. Oh, good. I get to be above you, Lisa.
Yeah, we're gonna make the men
it's kind of hot.
My rose petals can fall down.
Oh wow!
Is this a smut club now?
Yeah, we're in the smut.
Subtle, aren't we?
No, but and Steve's right. Yes, because it's the Lord's truth. That's exactly what Henry Cavill did, and so he's the man. But these books are so much fun. I'm right now on the King's Buccaneer. Yeah, so I can't wait to keep reading them.
The chronologically, it's the 8th book in the main series, I think.
I thought it was 7th, but I could be wrong. You're probably right, Steve. Man, everybody keeps trying to turn me into a Henry Cavill fan. Like, I'm not saying the guy's not good, but like, I don't believe that nobody ever recommends Feist.
Oh,
ever.
He did. There's a video clip.
I'm sure I can find it. I'll locate it.
I will find it for you and rub it in your face.
I was about ready to say.
I believe you, Steve, because you're honest. We've been through this. You're blunt and you're honest, and I love you for it. So I believe you. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that anybody in Hollywood reads anything outside of scripts.
Or he's English. He's proper.
He's not a fake geek. Not a fake geek at all.
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying I think he gets a lot of hype, and I don't know how well deserved it is, but I've also not watched everything with him in it. So I'm not hating on Henry Cavill. Like, chat, please don't turn on me.
Hey, it's a free country.
I feel like he has so much potential, but he gets underutilized so badly, and I've not really seen anything. The only reason I'm even warmed up to Henry Cavill is not because of The Witcher or Superman or anything like that. If you guys haven't seen it, it was a Guy Ritchie film. It's a reboot from the older film, and it was a TV series, and it's called The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
And he's in it with Archie Hammer. And it's actually really, really, like, I think that was, everybody's like, when he was Sherlock Holmes, that's his audition for, because I guess he was also in a Mission Impossible movie. And they're like, that was his audition for James Bond. And I'm like, guys, his audition for James Bond was The Man from U.N.C.L.E. So go watch that. Like, I liked that film, but I don't know that he is all that in a bag of chips. Like everybody wants me to believe that he is how I will phrase that. Though, if he really truly recommended Feist, and who else was it, Steve?
David Gemmell.
Really?
Yeah. David
I'm-
Gemmell has an award named after him too.
Yeah, he does.
I think they give it to newcomers or something.
Well,
David Gemmell Award.
I may just I may warm up to him a little bit more. I might like Henry Cavill just a little bit more now.
So give him an inch.
Oh yeah, I'll give him an inch. Let's see if he can take it a mile with my absolute, like, my childhood favorite series, Highlander. There better be Queen in that movie. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, if Queen is not in that movie, if it's not the soundtrack, then it's not Highlander. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that now.
Yeah. Who wants to live forever?
Who wants to live forever? I'll get struck on my very first monetized stream.
I was about to say.
Mr. Grant Gregory for 2 Australian says, "Yay! Now you can get paid." Hail, Lady G. Hail, Mr. Grant Gregory. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you, and like I said, you guys can still pay me through the Streamlabs side. I know that not everybody wants to support YouTube, so it's totally fine. But thank you so much. And then Miss Martin Muses with her signature rose super sticker for 99 cents. Thank you so much. I love it. I think specifically, like, the 4 of you on here, there's obviously others, like, I mean, like I said, the whole Geeks and Gamers team, Jeremy, Ryan, Josiah Rises, Jay, oh god, Krista, Tugs, X-Ray Girl, all of them are just, like, I love them all, and they all do so much.
So not
for
me?
So many. I was gonna get to you, Lethal, as and then we have Lethal, who just says Maz's dodging all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like, by the way, Prince Lethal,
Yes.
Prince of Earth.
Sorry.
Something's happening this Saturday.
The raid.
The worldwide raid of Destiny 2, the Witch Queen. And so we were, fear not, everybody, our Sailor Moon streams will return, but it's going to be next Saturday because yeah, he's going to be doing his raids and I'm going to be doing my raids.
Do you have a team?
If you guys, do I have a team? Yes, I'm on my husband's fire team.
Okay.
So it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I plan to die a lot.
I'm going to be the first in the world to finish the raid.
Okay. Sorry, you're serious. Okay, yes, you can do it, Lethal. You got it. You go. You're not a newbie to Destiny or anything at all.
I have a J Hailstorm.
You do have a J Hailstorm. I will give you that. You do have a J Hailstorm. So you might have the edge. You might.
I also have a Mozza.
Yeah. Mazza who's dodging.
Dodging.
But man, what is this show, The Tudors? Everybody keeps I've never seen that show either.
Girl, you've got to watch it just for their portrayal of St. Thomas More with Mr. Knightley playing St. Thomas More. It was almost a crime. But it's got a lot of really weird sex in it, okay? Because, you know, Henry VIII wasn't exactly...
Weird sex. Now, what's your idea of weird sex?
Henry VIII was pretty weird. Like, how does it... So, I'm trying to remember. It was divorced, beheaded...
Died, divorced, beheaded, survived.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, he's got a pretty high kill count.
Oh yeah. Not to mention all the others he killed, but that's a different story. But they actually do a very, very good job of that. And it's the only movie that shows St. John Fisher's murdered him too. So it's done really well. And they don't pull any punches. You know, they show the good, the bad, and the ugly of all of that. But Henry Cavill, he plays the Duke of Suffolk, and he was amazing in it. That's how I first learned of him, was in The Tudors. Yeah.
What is that The Tudors, the TV show?
Yes, the miniseries.
Yeah, okay, because like the way my Irish professor described it is like the biggest revenge the Irish ever has. They had an Irish guy playing Henry VIII.
Yeah, Henry VIII. Yeah. Hey, he was from my village, actually.
No way, are you serious?
Village. Yeah, he went to the local boys' school.
That's funny.
Yeah,
fascinating.
But when I say there's, because obviously after the world of Game of Thrones or Rome and all that, you can't just have people like go into their bedroom and like, okay, they're having sex. So yeah, they got to show, Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn doing all sorts of weird, kinky stuff.
What was weird stuff they did?
Well, didn't you see that? Come on, remember she does the whole where she strangles him, whatever you call that. I don't, Lady Gravemaster here, she's a lady. Whatever you do, you do that. I don't know. I don't actually. I think I'm the most innocent one here. But you know what I mean when they strangle you so you can't breathe. So
erotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. They do that. They do stuff like that.
Those are thanks to the wine ant. I know what that is now. Apparently, it's called choke play.
Yeah. I mean, let me this way. I'm not gonna kink shame anyone.
I will.
The privacy of your bedroom, but I don't want to see Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn doing that. Okay?
No, look, I'm telling you right now. If you bring your kink out in the light, I'm gonna shame you back into the dark. Do you understand? I will shame you back into the dark, into a hole. And some of you might like that, but I'm still gonna.
Okay. Well,
shove you
thanks for the warning. I now know I won't do that. Okay.
I found the Feist clip.
I see that.
Yeah.
So
you can enjoy the tutors, and if you don't want to see the weird sex, you can just search. I mean, it's real easy because if you see them all heavy breathing, you just search.
That's pointless. I'm not gonna watch it with that there.
There's no point for Lethal. He is not here for the articles. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, people tell me they're reading these magazines for the articles. I'm like, you're weird. I'm here for the naked women.
Oh. Well, and you get a lot of that too in the tutors. But they actually do a very good job with a lot of the history.
This says BBC Radio 1. No wonder I have not seen it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have to eat my words, apparently. All right, guys. Here we go.
Coming out of our windows, all that sort of thing. What are your go-to sci-fi or fantasy recommendations in the world of books?
Anything by Raymond E. Feist.
Oh my
Anything
God.
by David Gemmell. Anything by Brandon Sanderson. And obviously Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time.
That was like a shoot from the hip, 4 in the head.
They're all different in their different ways. Raymond E. Feist is a massive, massive world with all sorts of interconnecting stories and storylines. So that's a really fun one to get into. Because then you've got years of...
Okay. Yeah, so he's talking.
Aha! You see?
I always back up my claims.
Yes, I didn't say you were lying. I am genuinely, guys. I don't think you understand. I'm genuinely stunned that he listed those 4 authors because, Brandon's when he says the authors he has just listed, they don't write small world. They're not tiny. They are massive. The world building is very intricate. The storylines and the different subplots they all matter.
The Raymond Feist list is pretty much that's almost 30 books if you read all of it.
Yeah, it's these are not
investment.
Small. Miss Martin Muses, what are you doing?
Oh, well, that's 40? The real gift.
Oh my God! Well, you're the real. All of you being here is my real gift. But thank you so much. And you're breaking down cities.
You're darn right.
You're stomping the yard. I love it. Thank you so much. That's so generous. I'm gonna cry. You guys are just amazing.
Get yourself something nice. Get yourself a book. Do something.
I will get myself a book.
Yeah, in fact, any smart book you want.
That's not gonna
get the Cruel Prince. You can do that one next.
The Cruel Prince.
I don't want it.
Go get one of those. Go get yourself one of those King Henry eroticas.
Okay, I don't need that. I'm not a. I will say this. I don't need that in my life. My husband makes sure of it.
Based.
So I mean, it's true.
No, that's good. That's healthy.
But
that's healthy.
That's how there you go. Healthy marriages, yo. We are all about commitment. No, but that genuinely shocks me because I'm not sure how old Henry Cavill is, but I find it hard to believe he's older than 50. Like,
no, he's not. He's not older than 50.
Yeah, I don't think
he's
early 40. I think.
Oh, okay.
Everybody Google.
Hold on. Let's wait a minute. Yeah, I use DuckDuckGo. I'm old. Okay, how old is watch this like pop up as Henry Winkler was the first one. Okay, no, look at this.
What was with those King Henry searches in your search history?
Yeah, Henry Cavill. I have no idea.
1983.
38.
He's 38. Yeah, so he's 38 years old. All right. Younger than I thought. I thought he was in his like mid 40s. I am even more surprised that he's that young. And like I've read these books because I've been trapped on post and have had nothing like except desert and
Whew, might want to check the chat.
Oh my god! Theta Sigma! Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. So for $100, Theta Sigma says, sorry, no city breaking here, just sincere thanks. Oh,
Lit.
Thank you so much, Theta Sigma. That's incredible. I am so grateful and humbled. That's amazing. Thank you.
At least smash a village, though.
Just go smash a village. No, that's... I am...
That's a lot of erotica.
Yeah. That's like at least 2 weeks.
That's like 2 weeks worth of erotica.
That's a whole bottle of bubble bath.
That is a whole bottle. You know, I used to not like baths. And now they're not too bad as I've gotten older and done more damage to my body via workouts and other things, like just work in general.
I don't have access to showers or bathrooms or anything. I have to use a frozen river.
You have the fjords. You've literally got the fjords. I don't want to hear it. You can. But Theta Sigma, you have my sincere thanks and appreciation. Thank you so much. All of you in the chat, guys, seriously. I mean it. I adore every single one of you. Thank you so much. You guys make these streams so much fun and worth doing. You really do. So just thank you so much. That's why I wanted, like I said, the people you see on the panel right now and others that couldn't make it, they had other stuff going on. I will explain why. So I was not even planning on doing a monetization stream because I just found out. And I was like, well, if I do my normal nostalgia live stream, people are going to see it. And they're like, oh, you're monetized? And I was like, so maybe I should just do a monetization stream. So it was super last minute. And so I knew a bunch of people weren't going to be able to make it. But like I said, all the geeks and gamers guys, except for Lethal, because he stands head and shoulders above them.
Yeah.
Ooh. There it is. But they've just all been, every single one of them are just outstanding. They're incredible human beings. Steph is probably one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She's just a doll. And that's my nerdy home in case anybody is curious. And so all of those guys especially, but I really owe pretty much not everything. I know he wouldn't want me to say that, but Gary at Nerdrotics is at Nerdrotic is just, I will never be able to repay that man or thank him enough for everything that he has done for me and been a mentor for. He is genuinely one of the greatest people that you'll ever get a chance to meet. He's tough and he's fair and he does not take bullcrap from anybody. And he does not deal with drama. He if you want to start drama with him, he will he'll cauterize the crap out of it. He will cut it off and it will just die. And anybody that tries to restart any of that BS, he'll just be nah, it's not happening. We're not going to let it happen. So he is fantastic for so many reasons. And I would literally not be here if it wasn't for him. And I will never be able to repay him for everything that he has done. Honest to God's truth. So anybody that wants to say that Gary is a grifter or is this or is that, they are a lying piece of trash. And I will take that to the bank. He is probably one, like, if you're lucky enough to have him in your life, guys, it's pretty freaking outstanding. But that goes for everybody in this panel too. These are all great people. And I owe a lot to every single one of you. Because you've either talked me off a crazy ledge, or you've just been really genuine with me, or we just hit it off. Like Lethal and I, it's really funny because now I can't imagine not loving Lethal the way that I do. But Lethal and I have really only been best buds for maybe 5 months now, Lethal?
Best 5 months ever.
Right? It's just been fantastic. But I'm like, my God, I can't believe it's only been 5 months. Like, this dude right here is good peeps. Look at that. We get the whole spread.
I'll tell you one better.
Oh, look! Yay, face.
Oh, look at that face.
I have. He's just, look at that. How can you not love it? And he's got Halo, and he's got Wonder Woman, and he's got all of the things. And he's just, this man right here is good people. And I love him to death.
Aww.
Ooh, really. Ooh, and I can't wait to talk Sailor Moon with you next Saturday. It's going to be lit.
Yeah, that will be fun. But speaking of all that, I do have to jump off.
I know you do.
Yeah,
so.
This has been fun. Thank you so much for having me on. Congrats on monetization. I guess my poor laptop can have a rest now. It doesn't have to play your streams on repeat. Which
oh my God, you're so sweet.
Poor thing. I think it's gonna it already has blown up before. Like if that laptop's not plugged in, it will turn off. It can't handle anything. It can only do like one thing at a time.
I have one just like that. It's a Sony Vaio from like 2008, and it's, God, that thing's a brick, but it makes it. But yeah, no, I really did want to shout you out because I know you have to duck, but since you're not on the Twitter and your new main channel is now where they can find you, where else can they find you?
So that's my main channel there. I'm slowly starting to build that back up. It's going to take a while, especially to get it to where my main channel before that got taken down by YouTube. But the best place to find me is probably there or on Instagram. That's where you can contact me. And I'm pretty active over on Twitch as well. So yeah, but no, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. This has been amazing. Congrats on your monetization. And yeah, hopefully by the time you wake up in the morning, you'll have memberships.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty awesome. But big shout out to everybody on the panel. I can't believe I'm on a panel where I'm the least involved in a smut society. This is a first for me. But an extra big thank you to the chat for helping Lady Gravemaster get monetized. She really does deserve it, but it's impossible without all of you. You're all the MVPs. So much love, everybody, and I'll talk to you all later.
And he's actually headed over to do a stream right now on Twitch.
Oh, so no, stay here. Watch this one. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
But honestly, like, you can go check him out in a few. So now that we are, and guys, I know that this stream has been like all over the place, but just so much is happening. And Adiga Outlaw, you crazy you're insane. For $49.99 says, just to add to your celebration. It's our celebration, Adiga. This is all, like, you guys made this possible. You guys are the reason that I am here. And I swear I will never, ever, ever forget that. Because gratitude is one of the things that I'm like, okay, I'm going to get kind of mushy-gushy. But gratitude is one of the things that doesn't come naturally to me. I used to be a very self-centered person. And I didn't really care about other people a whole lot. Like if I wanted something and somebody else was going to get hurt, it didn't really bug me. I was like, well, I just wanted it more than them. Like I would always rationalize it, but no, like sometimes I was really terrible. And did stuff that I'm not necessarily ashamed of per se, because it wasn't anything to like mean girl extreme, but looking back, I was kind of like Stieg. I would just like, my friends brought me shopping if they wanted to make sure that their outfits look good, because I would tell them straight up, it makes you look fat, or it washes you out, or you do not belong in neon green. Like, I don't care that it's the in color and we're in the vanity clothing section and everything is neon green. Like, it doesn't look good on you. And I didn't realize until later in life that I probably should have been more considerate about what I was saying. And I used to.
What are you getting at?
You're terrible. I used to not like, I never used to. I would be like, okay, thank you, but then I would never like follow through on that thanks. I would never like, a lot of people, I mean, nobody gets anywhere by themselves. But I used to pretend that stuff that I would say, I thought like, I'd be like, I think X, Y, and Z. And I basically just like stole it from somebody else who said that. And I didn't give them credit for it when I said it, because people would be like, oh, like that's a good point, or that's really smart, or that's this. And like, I would just accept that praise and I wouldn't mention that, oh, well, so-and-so actually said it or something like that. I would just like take the praise because I liked it. And I used to pretend that I could do a lot. This is so, like we were talking earlier about how feminism is setting women up for failure. I know this firsthand because I almost got 4 Marines killed because of my stubbornness and pigheadedness and stupidity. And when you get humbled like that, so I won't go into the situation, but when you get humbled that way and you realize that there is a difference between talking the talk and walking the walk, you start to actually come from a place of guys, if you ever say something, like, a lot of people are going to have a lot of similar ideas and we're all going to say a lot of similar stuff, especially because a lot of us run in the same circles. But if I ever come off as ungrateful or just like, I have no idea. It's just like I'm too big for my britches or something like that. Please just call me out on it, because I have no problem nowadays admitting that I'm not perfect, because back when I was, 19, 20, I was like, no, I am perfect. Like I was buying into the hype of how women can do anything, and we're smarter than, like, men might be stronger, but we're smarter. That's not a automatic default, guys. I'm just gonna let you know that. And so this really, it really means a lot to me, and especially that you guys are here and you just deal with my random craziness and we have fun. And I didn't know what my life was going to look like for a long time, and I would have never guessed that it looked the way that it does now. Like, the question of where do you see yourself in 5 years? I now realize that question is a joke, because so much can happen. Like, not even 5 years, like in 6 months, in a month, your life can change. Shoot, my life basically changed overnight with this monetization thing. So it's just, life comes at you fast. And that where do you see yourself in 5 years question is, it's always good to have a plan, but that question is a joke. Like, I have come to realize how much of a joke that question is. And I just really, really appreciate and love every single one of you. Eskimonofono, thank you so much for the $5, and because congrats. I appreciate it. I love your avatar, by the way. I don't think I've ever told you that, but I really do. But yes, so there's my little mushy story. That's where we've arrived at. I'm sure Stieg has, maybe he's abandoned us. I don't know.
He just left.
Sorry, I was Googling a top 10 smut fantasy series.
Oh, God. I mean, just go to, honestly, I'm with a troubled green on this one. I tried to start a Bookstagram, and everything that is coming across, like, I follow a crap ton of book accounts, and I had to unfollow them because it's all these YA and like dark erotic, like it's literally dark erotic fantasy is what this is. And they're trying to say it's high fantasy, and I'm like, y'all need to figure out what high fantasy actually means, because it ain't this.
Sometimes on Twitter when I say that the world has been dumbed down, this is the stuff I'm talking about, because something that would be considered a 2 out of 10 in the 80s is now being hailed as an 11 out of 10.
It's because we're so starved for quality anything, but like writing anything really. Like we're so starved for it in the modern world, because like there's this mentality of, oh, it's from the 80s, like that's old, I don't want it. And I hate that mentality, because like if that held any kind of truth, Lord of the Rings wouldn't be what it is today.
Well, yeah, and I mean, even on my channel, like, or my account, like I've made a promise that I'm gonna read stuff in like the 80s and even further back, and it's funny, again, Tamara Pierce, she's not high fantasy and it's not highbrow reading, but she's a good writer and she makes really good characters, and even though she does very much follow the this woman is the key to this issue trope, she handles it really well. And it's funny that I'll post her books, and I will have so many people come out of the woodwork and like, oh, I love these books and no one ever talks about them and they're just so good, and we don't write at this standard anymore. And so it's funny to see that like the more I intentionally try to like go against the grain of what we do see on Bookstagram, the more people I get like being like, oh, thank you for posting these old books. I've completely forgotten about them. I'm going to go reread them now.
Yeah.
So like slowly but surely that was my goal. I am achieving that goal.
That's amazing. Well, and that's my goal with my nostalgia stream. So I cover movies, books, music, all that.
Your stream with Tugs was awesome. I loved that stream.
Yes.
I did a tweet a while back where I think I tagged a couple of people that I know are readers, but I asked, what's your favorite fantasy book that isn't the Lord of the Rings? And the thing blew up.
Yes, that was one of my favorite tweets ever, and there was so much good stuff mentioned.
Yeah, and people started discussing the books, and and just because a fantasy book isn't highbrow doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, at the end of the day, it's escapism. It's a vacation for the mind. And as long as you're entertained, that's all you need.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to get my little sister, she's 10 years younger than me. I want to try and get her to read Elizabeth Moon's The Deed of Poxenarian, because she's a huge D&D player, and the whole point of the series is that Poxenarian becomes a paladin, which I know nothing about. I'm not into D&D, but I think she'd really like it. And it is just literally just this woman becoming a paladin, but it was published in 1988 and it is so good. I couldn't put the first book down. I stalled a little bit in book 2. I think it slowed down a little bit, but I'm definitely going to finish it. And I loved book 1. I thought it was so good.
It's gritty, and it really delves, or rather fleshes out the military aspect.
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I have already said that I need to read it.
Also, the first Dragonlance books.
Yes, they're
great
amazing.
Fun. They're not a work of art or anything. It's just a bunch of characters from different races. You have different elves, what have you. You have knights, you have dwarves, and it's just fun.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
They're a great time.
And well, I think like, and something that I had mentioned on my review of the Court of Thorn and Roses is that we need fun. Like, not everything needs to be Tolkien. Or like I would argue that Patrick Rothfuss, the Kingkiller Chronicles, like those are hard to, those are heavy at points, and it's like you need to walk away and get a breather. Like, not everything has to be that dense and that highbrow. Like, we need just good fun when it comes to escapism.
You know what? The most fun book I've read probably in 2 years was Conan the Magnificent by Robert Jordan. By Robert Jordan.
Nice.
It's completely sexist. It's toxic. And it's awesome. Fun. It's fun. It's well written. And I've read a couple of them now. And holy crap, if you want escapism and just light reading and fun, get the Robert Jordan Conan books, because I haven't been that entertained in a long time. And they're not thick either. They're not even 300 pages. And they're available for free on audio on YouTube.
Nice. Maybe I'll do it just to piss off all the feminists.
You know what? The one called, I think it was Conan the Triumphant. This man-hating priestess lady. She had met Conan and whatever, and she was trying to do like a spell ritual later in the book. And she got pissed at herself because she couldn't do it properly because she had lustful thoughts about Conan in her head.
Oh no.
Yeah. And later she cast a spell on him to get him interested in her. And it kind of backfired because he was too interested and she could almost not walk the day after.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's cheesy and borderline stupid, but it's fun. And I think that's what people need these days.
Yes.
Just and Conan, the Robert E. Howard, he predates Tolkien.
Yep.
So he's like Tolkien's the grandfather of fantasy, but Robert E. Howard is the weird uncle.
Yeah.
I'd take that. Yeah, I would accept that.
But
I'll tell you what, you can
he certainly has his place in near the top of the fantasy hierarchy, because Conan is still being made today in comic form.
True.
And there's TV shows coming out on Netflix. So longevity, Conan has survived.
Absolutely. There's so much great reading out there.
He's basically single-handedly given credit for the founding of the branch of fantasy called Sword and Sorcery. It's basically named after his stuff because they knew it was fantasy, but they couldn't give a name to it, what he was doing, and then they called it Sword and Sorcery. So you can thank Jordan, not Jordan. You can thank him for that, the creator of Conan.
There is an amazing Conan story. I'm not sure who wrote it. It might have been Robert E. Howard, but it's basically Conan. He is trying to find the daughter of a nobleman who's been kidnapped by a cult. And Conan hates magic. He kind of fears magic because you're not supposed to mess with it, right? And, he's tracking the lady down, killing villains and getting a name and following the name to the next name, right? Until he gets to a lake and the lady's being sacrificed by the cult out on a small island on a lake, chained up to a rock and whatever. So he's rowing the boat over to the island to kick ass. And then all kinds of magic stuff happens. There's, magical effects and demonic stuff going on. And he looks at it and goes, I'm not messing with this. So he turns the boat around and rows back to shore. And that ends the book.
Nice.
He just stops giving a shit. I'm not doing this. So the lady gets sacrificed to whatever. We don't know. But yeah, he just turns the boat around.
Huh. Well,
which I thought was awesome. That's subverting expectations, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something for sure. I think so. Guys, this is just ambiance. Like, I just really like this picture. I love libraries in general, but this is what I'm talking. Like, you can go on YouTube. So one of the things I like to do, and I've talked about this on other streams, is I'll put on like music or something in the background, and then like on the screen it'll be something that looks like this, like a library or a fireplace or something, like depending on what the story I'm reading, because it just helps pull me more into the story.
I love these videos. I love the sound of the rain, so I put these on at night.
Yes, the rain ones. I found one that had it was like a medieval tavern.
Yeah.
In the rain, so it's like you're sitting next to the window.
So yeah, it's
Tears
just like
in the rain.
Yeah, so you've got these. I also, but like, depending on what I'm reading, one of my favorite tracks. I can't play it because now that I'm monetized, like I can't actually play the 2 Steps from Hell songs, but I highly recommend anything by Audio Machine or 2 Steps from Hell if you're reading fantasy stuff, because it's a trip. It just makes it that much better. See, like, yeah, I've got like all this listening up here,
Also,
but yeah, this is the Infinite Library.
The soundtrack for the old Conan movie too, if you're reading Conan.
Yeah, so like there's people, I the reason I bring that up is because people say that they don't read books because it's hard for them to get into them. It's never been hard for me to get into books. But I have noticed that when I have like the music and the scene or whatever, depending on what I'm reading, it just becomes that much more immersive.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that for a lot of people, if you can find something that will help you sort of block out the rest of the noise, like so the music blocks out everything else so that you can just focus on the book that you're reading. And yeah, see, so it's like 2 Steps from Hell. They have here, we'll listen to it for like a second.
Oh, cool.
So like they've got incredible stuff. And I listen to them while I read a lot. I listen to them when I do pretty much I will work out to their music. I'll do chores, just all kinds of stuff. They're phenomenal. But it's something to just kind of help pull you into the book even more. Because there's something about being able to pick the soundtrack, because books are basically like you are in control of your atmosphere and how you read them and the way you take them in. And so that means that you can pick any kind of music that you want to listen to. You can pick whatever scene you want up on screen, whatever it might be. And just make it that much more immersive and that much more your own, because everybody's reading experience is already going to be different and unique. But the great thing about music is, like, if you ever hear that song or that chord or anything like that elsewhere, it'll bring you back to those nostalgic memories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna? I had like an idea a while back, because I host a D&D game. We play the Conan D&D on Sundays, and I was thinking about how when you play D&D, it's basically like reading in a sense, because every player and the DM is picturing something different.
Yeah.
So if I, as a DM, describe a farmhouse, all the players will see a different farmhouse in their heads.
Yep.
So I was gonna ask the players, right, to draw the farmhouse, basically.
Huh.
Just to see how they
That'd be
see
cool.
it in their heads.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be very detailed, but just to see how each person saw it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about that, Teresa?
I think you're right.
Can you draw, Teresa? There we go. There's the question.
From a certain point of view,
Probably better
So yes, we're gonna go with
than
yes.
I can. But yeah, that would be interesting to just to see, right?
Yeah.
I've shared my pictures before, but I just have all these little stick men.
Hey, you know what? That's all I can draw too. That's why Makini is like my hero, because
he does not draw sticks.
No, nope. It's amazing what he can draw. Oh, Michael Tynan for $20. Thank you so much. Says, awesome, Lady G. Take my money. Well, I accept it graciously and gratefully. Thank you. It really does mean a lot. ES Posthumous is good too. I think I've listened to them. Yeah. Poldoris's Conan the Barbarian or Shore's Lord of the Rings. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Did you know that
obviously?
I think it was archive.com. It's that open library. Someone had taken the audiobooks that Robert Inglis read and then matched the timestamps to Shore's score. So he's reading the audiobook while you've got Shore's score in the background. I need to go find them.
I know that exists. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what? The old Star Wars novels.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have the same thing on Audible. The Star Wars music in the background.
Guys, there's so much great stuff out there. You don't have to waste your time with this this postmodern nihilistic trash.
Oh, you know what you need to listen to? Bruce Campbell's books.
Yes.
Because he narrates them himself with Ted Raimi, who is in every Bruce Campbell movie pretty much. And in one of them, a security guard twists his arm behind his back, and Bruce Campbell is releasing like a scream of pain, and you hear Ted Raimi in the background snapping 3 or 4 carrots.
Oh my god!
For sound effects.
That's fabulous. I love it. Oh my god!
If it works.
Well, the only reason I didn't pick up A Court of Thorn and Roses because it's like, I want to see, this sounds good. I read it literally to see, I want to see what my competition is. I want to see what's out there, and I want to see what is going on. And now, not to say that, I might have outed myself a little bit there. I mean, I'm working on something because it's always been on my heart to write, and I'm feeling like now is the time to do it because there is a dearth of good stories. But I read this book as research. That's why I read it and I haven't gotten past chapter 10 because I was like, this is so bad. So I read it as research, and anything else I read is strictly research. But there is people need to let go of this idea that there's nothing good from the past when literally I would argue that Sarah Maas or whatever the hell her name is has Tamara Pierce to thank for even creating that corner of the genre.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Upstart
I've read a book called Sometimes the Magic Works by Terry Brooks. It's probably the best book I've read about writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I highly recommend it, by the way. But he said the best writing tip, and he had condensed it down to, simplified it. It's read, write, repeat.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Because if you don't read, you can't write.
Yep.
Lord Thaw, thank you. Yeah, no, I completely agree. You're right. That's sound advice. Because if you don't do it, it's never gonna get done.
Yeah.
But
if you don't read, you won't know how a book works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also again, coming from someone who's deeply steeped in academia, though I probably am gonna withdraw from my PhD, but there's this young girl I found on Bookstagram, and God love her, she's independent published, she's self-publishing, she's paying for the editor out of her own pocket, and she wrote a story, and it's fairly close to A Court of Thorn and Roses, but she's a very sweet young lady, and I was like, you know what, kudos to her for trying. She needs to practice. But she had posted this post that someone had posted a review of her book, and I bought the book, and I was got to chapter 2, and I was like, oh god, this is going to be hard to be nice. But someone had ripped her a new one in a review, and she's like, how do you guys handle this? And I basically kind of wrote her a paragraph. I was like, honey, this is part of life. You got to learn how to stomach this. And I was like, you need, okay. I was like, go away, take a deep breath. And she's like, I was like, what I would suggest, because I've been peer reviewed. I have been put through the ringer on reviews, and it sucks. It hurts. And it's a punch to your ego. But you have to go back and be like, you know what? I'm going to take like the one sentence I can and be like, you know what? That's the thing I'm going to work on, and I'm going to get better. I was like, that's how you get better every time you put pen to paper. And so we also have to like find people who are willing to be honest about your writing and come back and say like, this sucks. You need to work on it. Or like, you're getting there. Keep going. You know what I mean? And that's, I feel like so many of these young writers, they're literally not taking criticism. They're not finding proofreaders.
So, no, because here's the thing on YouTube, and the video has been taken down now, but on YouTube, I found, because I was looking at like self-publishing stuff and writing tips and like there's a whole bunch. By the way, there's a huge niche on YouTube for like books and writing and stuff like that. But I am not a professional author or authoress, but and I don't have a PhD. I've got friends who are professional writers and have their PhDs, and they talk about a lot of stuff. But this woman who has self-published and done stuff, she said that you should not waste your money or time on an editor because the software can do it for you.
Are you serious? I am an editor.
She said you now have the software will do the editing for you.
Holy
you don't need like and I was like, I sat there for a second and I realized what she was talking about. What she meant was like spelling. She meant like,
are you serious?
Yeah, she meant like the software will proofread it for you. Okay, but the software can't tell you if you have a glaring plot hole.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say
the software,
it's one thing for that spell check.
Yeah, like the Jacob Ironside, you have a great night too. Don't worry, we're gonna wrap up here soon because we've been going for almost 3 hours. But I was like, the software isn't gonna tell you if your main character is a plank of wood.
Yeah.
It's not going to tell you if it makes sense, if it's coherent, if the story's even good.
Like, yeah, or if you bring up something and then you never return to it.
Yeah. So when she said that, I was like, this cannot be real. But this video had like 1.5 million views and like over 500,000 likes.
Good Lord.
Not 500,000 likes, 50,000 likes. There we go. Had over 1.5 million views.
That actually proves that constructive criticism is always way better than blind praise.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that video probably illustrates that very much. Because they're just, oh, this sounds awesome. It must be true.
Well, like this is so the reason that. Okay, so a lot of my writer friends, the divide between them is getting more and more stark. Because there's some of them who have like seen the writing on the wall already and they've left traditional publishers. And are trying to go out on the self-publishing route. And then there's others who are like, no, the traditional publishers know what they're doing. If they say that a book isn't going to work, it's not going to work because they've been doing this for years. Stuff like that. But the thing is that SJWism and intersectional feminism is in the publishing houses.
Yep.
Because one of my friends was literally told that her story did not have enough representation in it, even though it was about Africa during the Crusades, and it basically focused on this guy. So I'll just give you guys a brief synopsis. I've talked about this before, but so this man leaves his village to go ask the Pope for help and to send soldiers because they are being overrun by like invading non-Christians and stuff like that, and like what it did to these different African nations who were hit with this influx of really violent, of a lot of violence during the Crusades. And so it's this man from Africa, the heart of Africa, who is traveling to the Pope to ask for reprieve and for assistance and for help. And it's actually like a really interesting story. And she was told that it doesn't matter that her MC is black, and that this is like, obviously this is the time of the Crusades, guys. Remember this. They were like, well, could you like include a woman in this more, or could you add more gay characters, or could you add like a disability? Yeah, this is what the publishing house told her, that there wasn't enough representation. And she got turned because even though it was a black man, he was a Christian straight male. Yep. He was the leader of a village in the time of the Crusades. Like, it's just...
That's asinine.
Yeah, and so she's like, nope, the publishers know what they're talking about, and they say that this won't sell right now.
Oh, that's...
And I'm like...
Yeah.
That's not...
that's what's wrong with everything.
You know what? Ask them about Game of Thrones. Are they selling those books? Because they're not that diverse. The only two gay people in it, one is dead and one is probably dead because he got burned. So where's the diversity there? And it's selling like heck. The Lord of the Rings is still selling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Terry Pratchett's work was at one point the most exported product in England, actually. That's not diverse either.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's saying that is insane.
Yeah. It's all about it's all about the agenda, and it's all about the message, and it's not about the story.
Even Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey. They're not that diverse either. But they sold,
There you go.
Sadly.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Well, here's part of the problem too, and it's becoming a catch-22, because we've been encouraged to say make our things more diverse. I'm talking about music now, but it works with books, and then next thing you know, you're accused of cultural appropriation.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like you've got, so it's like, which one is it? It's like you can't win. It's like you've got to write diverse characters. It's like, well, you're not this, so how can you write that character? It's just a big circle of insanity.
That's true, though, because let's say you've written a book. Let's say I've written a book, right? A fantasy book.
Mm-hmm.
And the publishers goes, yeah, you need a more diverse cast. And then I'm like, I can't, because if I do that, since I'm a white man, I'll be accused of cultural appropriation.
Yep.
And get canceled.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, how dare you, as a heterosexual man, write a gay man? How would you? No. I mean, they even have, what's his name? That one actor from The Danish Girl. He's now had to apologize for playing a trans character because he's not trans. He did it 10 years ago. It's because the rules have changed.
Scarlett Johansson,
it's called acting. Yeah, it's called acting. Like, this is absurd. We have crested, like, it is about to come full circle. There's just no way around it, because you can't, like, are people going to cancel Chris Evans because he's not really a super American soldier that was born in the 30s?
He'll cancel himself.
Yeah. What about Ian McKellen, though? He played a heterosexual wizard.
Yeah, like, this is, like, these people are
sort of all around, but that's the thing. The thing is, so if you go to the books and they say they have to be diverse, and the next, 2 years later, you're canceled because you wrote about a lesbian when you're not a lesbian.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is why you don't play their games. You simply write your story the way you want, and you tell everybody to kick rocks.
Well, like, and that's like myself. I don't know if do you know Max von Presley, MVP?
Yeah.
So okay, he has his Monday stream with McKenna, and I was just on that. But McKenna and I have gotten to be really close, and we are very much of the opinion now. It's like, it is time to stop complaining and time to start creating. And we're pushing each other to really, like, stay informed, stay up to date. Yes, call out the nonsense when we see it. But it is like, if we don't start creating, then we will stay stuck here. And that nothing is going to change. If we don't actively, like we're part of the rebellion, like Jay says, like Gina is. If we don't actively start fighting back, then it's going to get to the point of where, like, you're just complaining. Do you have nothing else to say? Like, and that's why, we're trying to, like, find creators to support, because it's like, I understand the importance of not backing down, but if we don't start actively pushing back, like Ripa says, this parallel economy, then our complaints are going to be for naught.
Yeah, no, I see that on my nostalgia streams all the time too. It's not enough that you just close your wallet to the stuff that's bad or that you don't want. You have to open your wallets and support stuff that is good. And and like and this is where sorry.
Oh,
this is where Steve and I
little side note. You also need to close your wallet to the woke shit, otherwise it's not going to go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
But so this is where, like, some people, like, this is where some people disagree with me, because I will be watching the Rings of Power show on Amazon. And I've got, by the way, shout out to Hot Toys and Nerdrotic for helping me figure out Camtasia, and I accidentally deleted my like, I've got it all square now. It should be taken care of, but holy crap, Camtasia is buggy and it takes up a lot of space on your computer, FYI. But
also,
I should have a video.
You have Elven Money in the chat.
I saw that. But I should have a video out Saturday, I think. But Lady Tara, hello, Lady T. We love you. Not your namesake, but we love you. At least I don't love your namesake. Everybody else might, but I don't. But congratulations to a wonderful lady who I enjoy talking with. Aww. Well, thank you. I enjoy talking with you too. I love talking to you. You're so wonderful.
She is sharp as a razor.
She is. She really is. But I think
I'm debating about watching it. I don't know if I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
So like, here's the thing. My rationale is, if I watch it, but if two people watch my reviews or like my discussions on it, and they decide that they don't need to watch it, then I've made up
something.
I've accomplished something. I've not only canceled out my viewership, but I've taken one away from Amazon.
That's what Max was saying.
Here's the thing, guys. Like, the mentality of, and I'm sorry, like, it sucks to say this, but it's true. And unfortunately, we're figuring it out about a decade and a half too late. Granted, I was only like 14 at the time, but man, foresight would be nice, but hindsight's 2020 for a reason. But here's the thing. These people, the reason that the SJWs and the intersectional feminists and all of these people, this is in my video too, the reason that they have gained all of this ground, and the reason that they are able to do all of this, and they have pushed to the point that we are now in this like cultural war and battle, is because they didn't just turn off stuff they didn't like. They actively took it down. Cancel culture is not new. Cancel culture has been around for decades. Mm-hmm. Like where they wrote in and they wanted something canceled, or they wanted an actress canceled, or these campaigns, or whatever it is. Social media has just made what they were doing more visible, but also more like, not just more visible, but it's now more vocal. It's louder. It's not necessarily that there's more of them. They're just able to be louder with it.
Yeah.
And
I also think that with and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be a normie or anything, because not everyone can be highly invested in everything, right? But the SJW shows, and I'm assuming this is going to happen with the Lord of the Rings show, as long as all that stuff have the normies on their side, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, but normies
because that's what happened with Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yeah, but after all of unfortunately, Star Trek and Star Wars got put on the sacrificial chopping block. But look at how poorly Disney films were performing, and they tried to blame it on the lockdowns and the coof and people being afraid, and then you had I don't think people like everybody wants to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, but so many people are forgetting that Venom was earlier that year and it did pretty freaking fantastic as well. It almost cleared $1 billion.
Yeah, and another movie did extremely well too. I can't remember which one. Dune.
Yeah, Dune.
Dune was
really
wonderful. Dune was so
you
good.
had Dune pull it off, but you had people seem to be forgetting about Venom, Let There Be Carnage. It did really, really well. It almost cleared $1 billion. And then you had Dune, which did phenomenal. And then you had Spider-Man No Way Home, which is still, I think it racked in like 80 million last weekend. Like it's just, it keeps going. And
you know what? If people want no borders, how can there be cultural appropriation?
Yeah, the hypocrisy knows no bounds, Twig.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's freaking absurd.
Yeah, I
These
just saw
people.
Cal G's comment in the chat. He tied into what I said.
Yeah, exactly. Folks thought culture was irrelevant and the wokies played the long game. Yeah, exactly. People didn't, because guys, you also have to realize the internet is still relatively new.
Yeah.
Like as far as technology goes,
I remember learning it.
Yeah, I remember being in school learning it. It's still relatively new, and smartphones have only been around since 2007.
Yep.
You want to hear something scary?
15 years. That's it. What?
You want to hear something scary? The generation growing up now is the first one to have always had the internet, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they basically have a supercomputer in their hand, which is a cell phone. They have access to all the information in the world on it, pretty much. You can basically get an education on it.
Yep.
You know, and they use it for TikTok.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
scary as shit. Imagine if Thomas Jefferson had access to all this information, or someone else, right?
No, exactly.
Someone known for thinking.
Yep.
Well, what drove me crazy as all of this was going on, being so in the creative arts during the 90s, no one would listen. It just drove me crazy because they're like, oh, it's just make believe. Oh, it's just this. It's not such a big deal. And it's like, and then now they're like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? How did all our culture change? It's like, well, you all just didn't pay attention
Ignored it. So
to what was going on.
People may not realize this. People may not realize here. I'm going to call specifically American conservatives, obviously, because that's my biggest frame of reference. But I'm going to let you guys know this. Conservatives built Hollywood. They built it. Conservatives are the reason that Hollywood is there. Institutions, conservatives built those. Museums, conservatives built those. Conservatives are really good at starting stuff. Terrible at maintaining it. They just assume, they're like, hey, I've made this so that it can basically run itself if we follow this formula. So I can just be hands off and let it do its thing and just, move on to the next thing that I can make or create or work with, because I don't actually want to work on this thing for the rest of my life. And what happens is apathy sets in, and then it gets corrupted and taken over, and it gets perverted into the propaganda machine that we see it as it is today.
You can actually see the same thing going on with Disney Star Wars. And I've tried to warn people for years. If you pay for this, it's going to lead to this, right?
Yep.
And people got upset, lost their minds, cussed me out. Fine. Look at what's going on with Disney Star Wars now.
I don't want to.
That hotel, they have Star Wars bingo and
line dancing.
What the heck? Yeah, what the heck's going on?
Look, there's nothing wrong with bingo and line dancing, but
you can do them at a community center for free.
Yeah, this should be an immersive Star Wars experience. And it's not. And the thing is too, that's what I'm saying. All of this stuff, a lot of the rockers that you guys listen to, they're all conservative, or they're at the very least centrists. And
a lot of them are Christians.
Yeah, and people are always shocked.
I got cussed out for being a conservative the other day, even though I'm actually a centrist. I swing between center, left, and right, really.
Yeah,
Depending on
a lot of people
topic.
do, but left has left center so far behind that now center is right. It's insane, and it's
everything to the right of Karl Marx is far right now.
Yeah, it's insane, and I'm like, I just want to. It breaks my heart, but also like, you reap what you sow, and if you don't sow, you don't reap, and somebody else is going to sow and they're going to reap, and this is what we're left with. We're left with creative bankruptcy. Why do you like, here's the thing, guys, there's so many fantastic new ideas out there. There's so many incredible invaded and perverted everything. Those stories are being ignored, and these people are like, well, how come they're like, I couldn't believe what was coming out of it was an executive, I think, for I can't remember if it was like MGM or AT&T or who it was, but they were like, well, there's no new ideas, so we have to rely on old ideas and just give them a new paint job, is essentially what they said. And I was like, that's such bullshit. Like, that's so insane to hear coming from who's supposed to be a creative executive. Because you can't.
What's going on now, though, is, with, Star Trek and Star Wars and several others, they've started to not do remakes. They basically reboot the sequel.
Yeah.
In a sense. Because they're doing, we're going to do a new one, but it's just going to follow the original movie, right? But another thing is, the severe influx of member berries, which Star Wars in particular is very, very guilty of that. Putting in, hey, you remember this droid? It's in our new show. It's, over there by the counter, right? But what they're basically doing, though, is probably harsh to say, I guess, but it's the franchise as it was created is dead, but they're putting these member berries in, which means, in a sense, that they're basically turning nostalgia into necrophilia.
I see what you're saying. It's like, here's the thing. I don't think the franchise, because like, though I'm blessed, I've only seen Last Jedi once, and I didn't even see all of it, and I never saw Rise of Skywalker. So for me, I can still enjoy the prequels and the OT.
Well, the sequel trilogy, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, I know. But like, I have just been actively avoiding this crap for eons. Like, I was way ahead of that curve because I don't watch stuff that I don't like. And
it's gonna the same thing is gonna seep into Tolkien's work.
Nope, I won't let it. I will raise Amazon to the ground.
I'll help you, lady.
There you go. Like, they have gone too far. They like, it is, this show is basic, like, they have basically admitted that their show is just the most expensive fan fiction ever made.
Well, you know what? It's funny. Do you follow European lore on? Have you seen his channel?
Yeah,
he's great. He's from Czechoslovakia or something.
Yes, yeah, he's Czech. He did a video this morning, or maybe it was yesterday. I can't really remember. He was talking about fan fiction. He's like, you know what? We need to stop calling it that, because you write fan fiction, no matter if it's good or bad, because you love something. You love something that much. You want to put your voice into it, even if it never sees the light of day. Fan fiction is more often than not done out of a place of love. He's like, this is not being done out of a place of love. It's just a cash grab. So he's like, we need to stop calling it that, because it's not like the reverence that you would write fan fiction with.
Yeah, I call it corporate fic.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I like that term.
Yeah.
Well, and he also pointed out that usually in fan fiction they actually use the characters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would call it lab fiction, because it's created in a lab.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
no art has ever been created in a lab, as far as I can tell.
That's the thing. But see, and that's like the thing. That's why, like, Marvel pretty much died when they got purchased by Disney, and LucasFilm, like LucasArts, was they just did away with LucasArts almost as soon as Disney bought it. And they decanonized the EU, and they did all of these things because they are trying, Disney is trying to find a formula that they can just repeatedly use and churn out and call it square and make money off of. But that formula is failing them because people are being insulted left and right, and it's not good writing. It's not good in any aspect. And it's not hopeful. And humans as a race, we are actually a very optimistic race. We are hopeful. We want to be optimistic of the future. And that's why everybody's like, how did Elon Musk get so successful? It's because he didn't look at space and go, oh, we're never going to reach it. He's like, I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
You know what though? Modern entertainment, the franchise stuff, they're basically checking boxes and whatever they think society wants, covering their bases.
What society needs now, not what society wants.
Yeah, but they're taking it from the outside in, right? Mm-hmm. Well, art is supposed to be from the inside out.
Yep.
So it's literally the opposite of how you create art. Right?
Yep.
Because they have people there that are basically seeing, this and this is popular, this and this is popular, make sure it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's outside in. So it's...
Yep. They're trying to follow trends instead of setting them.
They're literally doing the opposite of what, Tolkien, Robert Jordan, George Lucas, what all of those people who created big, massive, works of fantasy did. And they're just getting they're doing exactly the opposite. So it's anti-storytelling.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because it's literally the opposite of how a story should be told.
I agree. I think, guys, we've been going for 3 hours, and that seems like a pretty good place to stop. As far as just because something, the thing that started this whole tangent with everybody, just because something was published in the 80s doesn't mean that it's not worth your time.
Yeah.
If it's still in print, it means it's quality.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you ever need
stuff that's not in print, I get loads of stuff all the time from the half price bookstore. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I almost only buy used books because I like giving used books a good home. So, but if you're ever in need of a good standalone book, if you've never read The Forgotten Beasts of Eld, that's one to definitely put on the list.
I will definitely add it. I'll try not to forget it.
It's my mom's favorite book.
Oh, there you go. And she was such a sweetheart tonight. Tell her thank you from me. I appreciate it.
I'd recommend the old Dragonlance books and the old Conan books because they're just pure fun.
There you go.
They're not deep or anything, but I think maybe people need a bit of that these days. Pure fun for a few hours.
Just fun.
Yeah, I tell you, I found a lot of stuff. Just look under Robert E. Howard in the different sections of Half Price Bookstore, and you'll be surprised what you'll find. I've found a few anthologies and the like. So
Raymond Feist.
Yep.
Raymond Feist
Absolutely.
is always a good thing. That series is finished. That series is finished too. Even if he was helping with the 2 video games in the 90s, he's still finished. So he's better than George Martin.
Yeah, he finished. Yeah, Raymond Feist too. Yeah, I'm just thinking, just because you mentioned Conan, I got all the Robert Jordan Conan books at half price as a find in hardback. So first song.
That's awesome.
There's a great one on Amazon for sale. It's like fake leather. It's about £20 the book. The price, probably the weight too. But it has everything Robert E. Howard wrote, even the unfinished stuff.
Nice.
In one package.
Yeah, Stieg will help you spend your money.
Yeah. I don't need any more help doing that.
I've gotten Teresa to buy an Xbox, a bunch of games, and probably 50 books.
So. And don't forget to quit my job.
Oh yeah, I did that too. So
yeah
imagine if I had been smart, I would have asked her to give me that money. And I'm like, damn it.
Well,
Jedi mind trick.
Hopefully I can avoid all of that terrible influence. No, I'm just kidding. That sounds like fantastic investments. But guys, I wanted to just say thank you so much for coming on and for the book suggestions. Chat, you guys were amazing, incredible, and crazy tonight. I appreciate every single one of you so much. But let's go ahead and Miss Martin, let's start with you. Why don't you tell people what you're doing, what you're up to, where they can find you, and your favorite, not your absolute favorite, but just a favorite book that you like to escape into.
Okay, well, you can find me here on YouTube and Miss Smart Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. And right now, I'm generally talking about what makes me happy, and that is The Lord of the Rings. I've been doing a book discussion on The Lord of the Rings. We've been going through it chapter by chapter since last summer, and this Saturday at 11 a.m. Central, we will be finishing The Return of the King. We're finishing this long journey, and then we will continue with The Hobbit and then The Silmarillion. So that's coming up. Also, my my double pick. We're going to be talking about war movies of the 20th century, or rather that are set in the 20th century from those wars, and some Irish movies. And who knows, maybe I'll be doing some more of my little crafting streams later on. We're just going to see about that. But as far as a book I love to escape to, I would have to say right now it is my newest anthology. I just got a new one of Hercule Poirot Mysteries, the short stories. Anytime I can just delve into a short story of Hercule Poirot, it just makes me happy. Agatha Christie. Yeah.
That sounds, I love it. Yeah. Agatha Christie's amazing. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for being just an incredible human being and being so supportive, and for being here tonight. It really means a lot.
Oh, well, thank you. We love you.
Mm-hmm. Mwah. Much love. I guess we're going to, yes, Steve.
Hi.
How about, since you don't ever want to be found, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm only on YouTube and stuff because I like talking to people. I don't want subs or anything like that, or I don't even want followers, to be honest. You know, not that I'm chasing people off, but you know, I don't want anything from people. You know, simple as that. I have what I need, but usually,
guys, he's curious. He has no hidden motive. Like, that's legit, just how he feels.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
He just wants us to spend our money.
Yeah.
But usually you'll find me on Teresa's streams on Saturdays, and sometimes during the midweek if I'm awake, because, you know, time zones. Mm-hmm. And sometimes on this channel, because we have that 80s thing.
We do that 80s thing called Blockbuster. Wow, I can talk. Blockbuster Archive.
Yeah, we've done 2 episodes so far, so if anyone wants to watch those, we talk about 1 year per episode, basically. So we started with 1980.
Yep.
And we're talking about major events in the world during that year. And then we review 2 movies. She reviews one I've told her to watch, and vice versa.
Yep.
So it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yes. And I watched a new movie. Our very first episode, I watched a brand new movie. It was called Alligator. And it was not Jaws, but it was trying to be.
It was trying very hard to be, but it's still not bad.
Yeah.
And on Wednesdays, I'm on with Jade Shadow. That's the name of the channel. We're talking about the top 3 cringiest things in pop culture during that week.
And the universe does provide, does it not?
Oh, it's extremely difficult to limit it to 3. I'm not even kidding.
I believe it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. As for books, well, lately I've been reading Conan, like I said, but I'd like to give a shout out to Joe Abercrombie. He started writing books in 2006, I think, Englishman. He writes, well, they call him Lord Grimdark now because his books are grim and dark, but it's basically Lord of the Rings plus Conan plus Quentin Tarantino. And I think people should give him a chance. Pretty much every character in his books is either a psycho or a really bad person, but you root for them anyway because of the way it's written. So
I actually have a couple of his books because I won it in a raffle along with several other books, and I just had not really gotten around to reading them. But
start with the first one published.
Okay.
Because basically what he does, he has a trilogy, and then later on he has some standalone books where side characters in the trilogy are now the main character, right?
There you go.
So it's kind of cool, but I don't know, it's good to recommend something new too, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you.
And they're not smutty.
There you go. Hey, +1 in my book. Awesome sauce. Well, thank you, Steve, and thank you for being here. I appreciate all that you do. It's good stuff. You're good people.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You're not so bad yourself, lady.
Oh, I appreciate that. But yeah, you're a pretty good guy. You're a good egg. So thank you for all the support and direction.
How did you know I was egg-shaped?
Just a lucky guess.
No.
You kind of sound like a dragon. I figured you came out of a dragon egg and just sort of kept that like cone-looking dragon egg shape.
It came out of a duck bunny egg.
There you go. Oh God. Well, hopefully, you don't destroy your entire party. A troubled green. Oh, thank you so much for coming on tonight, sweetheart. I had so much fun. This was a blast. I'm grateful that y'all stayed the whole time. That's amazing. So you've talked a little bit about your bookstagram, but why don't you bring up because isn't Gina Carano wearing one of your hats?
Yes, yeah, Gina's wearing one of my hats. Jay actually gave it to her. So my Etsy is the same as my bookstagram, T-Books Yarn. But Etsy is raising their fees. And I got a strike from Warner Brothers about one of my Harry Potter hats. So over the summer, it is my goal to build up my website. I wasn't going to sell stuff on my website, but it looks like now I'm going to have to because I want to do Lord of the Rings. I want to do Star Wars. I want to do Harry Potter, but I can't do any of those things because I know I'll get a strike and then they'll take down my shop. So yeah, I'm going to have to migrate all my stuff over to a website come summertime. So I'm not pushing my Etsy shop right now because I don't see the point in it because I'm like, I don't care about reviews anymore because I'm going to lose all of them. So, yeah, it sucks.
That's tragic. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just, I probably used the wrong tag. That's probably why Warner Brothers found me because there are so many Harry Potter sellers on Etsy. I'm just like, why of all people did you find my store? Whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't want to pay Etsy's fees. I just paid my January fees and I'm really annoyed about it. So yeah. So yeah, I'm not pushing Etsy terribly hard right now. But you can find me anywhere else at A Troubled Green, both Instagram and Twitter. And then my YouTube channel the 15th is going to be, I'm going to have my very first live stream with Untamed Mando. We're starting with the Silmarillion and working our way forward. We are not experts by any means. I read the Silmarillion in high school, but Tolkien is the reason I'm the young woman I am today. I wouldn't have gone into higher education if it hadn't been for him. So I'll be damned if they get away with this bullshit. So we're going to educate ourselves in Tolkien's histories and have a firm foundation to stand on come September. So we're basically just going to get on each other's channels and talk about the books and discuss them with our chat. So I'm hopefully now going to start building up my YouTube channel. I'll see where it goes from there.
I am looking forward to it. That's amazing. So, well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, lady. I couldn't believe it when I got your message. I was like stunned. I was like, she's asking me, Lady Gravemaster wants me on her channel. I was so like I was just blown away. So thank you for the honor of bringing me on. I can't tell you much. This was fun. I had a good time. But as for a book, I just reread Christopher Paolini's Inheritance Cycle about the Dragon Riders. And I mean, it's unapologetically Lord of the Rings meets OG Star Wars, but it's good. Like, I forgot how good those books were. And I really enjoyed reading them. So shout out to, I hope, now I really do hope Christopher Paolini finishes book 5. I really do hope we get it. So we'll see.
I agree. I do agree. I'm so thankful that you were able to come on tonight. And like, when you were like, yes, I was like, oh my God, she said yes. Cause like, guys, I'm really not that, I'm no big thing. I'm not anybody special. And so for you guys to, you know, put up with me and then also, you know, want to hang out with me and chat, it means a lot. So I'm eternally grateful for everybody, all of you in the chat, everybody here on the panel, anybody that couldn't make it tonight. I mean, like I said, this was pretty last minute, honest to God. And the amount of support has just been incredibly overwhelming and so considerate and sweet and thoughtful, and I am genuinely thankful. Because I mean we are literally all in this together, quite frankly. So I just can't thank you guys enough. Really, truly. I'm not sure how I ended up this blessed, but I am eternally grateful for it. And that even doesn't seem to do it justice. But I think those were some great book recommendations. I should have a video or possibly 2 on Saturday. And Twitter and Instagram is where you can find me, I guess, but I plan to be a bit more active over here as well. And I'm looking forward to just talking about stuff that I love and ripping apart stuff that I don't. But it's going to be an adventure, and I'm looking forward to going on it with everybody. So I will hang my hat on that one and just tell everybody good night, God bless, Godspeed, and thank you so very much for helping me celebrate this truly unbelievable, just this. I really have no idea what to say outside of the fact that I'm still wrestling with the fact that this is real. So, thank you so much. And Cal G, I will help you with this. I have never seen High School Musical, so I have no idea what song you're talking about. But I won't be singing it because I don't know it. I just, guys, I really do just appreciate all of you. If you guys, I don't know what time zone everybody's in. Gary is going to be going live talking about Picard here in just a little bit. I think Ryan was live. Comics Division is live. They're going to do, it's their Thursday night throwdown stream over on Comics Division. But of course, I have to shout out my one of my favorite human beings ever. Prince Lethal is live over on Twitch doing Destiny. Go check him out there, or go check out any of those other great YouTubers. If you're still, if you just, because I don't know what, it's 8:00 on the West Coast right now. So you guys, it's still early for you. So I'm sure you're going to be like, oh, I want to watch something. So those are my recommendations to go watch, or, you know, pick up one of the books that any one of these panelists suggested. And if I know I already suggested it tonight, but I've noticed that in my my chat bar, like, people have rotated in and out. I am again going to just push the Green Rider books. They're by Kristen Britton. Here, I will share. I'll give you, because we like visuals. So this is her newest one. Yeah, see, so she's on her 7th novel, Winter Light. And there's like all this stuff going on. But so she's got maps. The name of the country, the main country is Secordia. And then here's all of the books. So
yeah, I will definitely getting these.
All the cover, like the cover artwork is gorgeous. Like I said, the first 3 are phenomenal. The 4th one isn't bad, but you know, like I'm just gonna say, take it with a grain of salt. Just try and enjoy it as best you can. Depending on, because like I said, as the book goes, as the series goes on, it sort of pulls away from what it started out as, which is normal because the series grows. But you can really tell that the first 3 were intentional, and then the rest of them she's just sort of adding on for the sake of adding on, I guess is what I would say. But they're still great reads, and I do recommend them. So great recommendations by everybody tonight. And you know, like I said, I just want to thank everybody for coming on. And yes, go check out Prince Lethal over on his Twitch right now playing Destiny, guys. It's so much fun to watch. It's a great video game. And I mean, we just love Lethal. He's entertaining. So it's good stuff. And I will wish you all the best and say much love and so much gratitude. Thank you for the incredible amount of support this evening. So have a great night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.